He didn't get the record-setting grand slam, but he has 100 RBIs. And Salvador Perez, with 2 outs in the 9th inning, gives the Royals a 4-run lead.
Oh, you love to see it.
From 52, the kick wobbles, but makes it through. And the Seahawks win it at the gun.
Friday edition of The Zone right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We head up until 2 o'clock. We have a ton of stuff to get to, and it's a jam-packed show today. The Ryder Cup continuing right now, going on. The morning foursomes wrapping up with 4 holes to play. The United States with Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. Patrick. I don't know why I went in that accent. Patrick Cantlay 1 up with 4 to play, while the United States are down 3-0. 3 points for the European team, 0 for the United States, and a crucial 4 holes left. Because, I mean, the difference between being 4 points down or 2 points down after the first session is massive, because the Europeans need, 11? So you're, oh my God. Yeah, I entered today, and you and I talked about it off the air, I think, yesterday or Wednesday, Sterling, that I approached the Ryder Cup with excitement to watch, but dread of how the United States is going to blow it. And 4 straight Ryder Cups have been won on the home soil. That streak is going to break eventually. I was just hoping that it would break in 27. Doesn't mean that that this one's over, but it's a huge 4 holes left here for the United States. That's the update with the Ryder Cup, Sterling.
Yeah, so. Not great. Bryson set the tone early, hit an absolute bomb, just short of went over the trees and all that, although, of course, Oberg did that later on without as much fanfare because Europe.
Yeah.
You know, Bryson walks in a nice, 15-footer for birdie. They go up 1, and you think, okay, this is the tone being set. And then Justin Thomas is like, hey, 4-footer? No, we're not going to make those.
5-footer? No, thank you.
It was great. They were going to lose either way, but it was just a perfect encapsulation of him missing a 5-footer to keep the match alive.
I'm done with Justin Thomas. I'm done with get him off my screen. I'm done with Justin Thomas. I'm done with people acting like he's still a top-level golfer.
Well, and you knew that you were losing against Rory and Fleetwood, so you threw out Morikawa and Harris English. I get that one. Sorry, you were almost lambs to the slaughter in that instance. But you needed to not get destroyed against Rahm, and Rahm had a couple of phenomenal. That one out of the fescue was one of the best shots you will
rolling
see.
In putts.
And so I get that, but you can't get crushed like that. The Crushers got crushed, Bryson. You have to win this final one. And Cantlay is Team USA. He's done well in the past, but they were up 3, now up 1, and they yanked a drive far into the grandstand.
Yeah, it was rough. I do wonder, though, I asked you guys on the text this morning that if Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood are a team, does that make them Fleetwood Mac?
I guess you could also do it with Robert McIntyre, too.
No, you can't. It's only
Rory Mac.
Although, if McIntyre actually is MAC, so that actually would be good if it was Fleetwood Mac, MAC. So there you go. There's your Ryder Cup update. We'll keep you updated as the tournament rolls along, and we'll see what the afternoon pairings will look like, but 4 holes for the United States. 913-912-4810. Coming up later on this hour, we'll hear from Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Todd Lebo hangs out with Lee to get you ready for the weekend's worth of games and action from a little bit more than a rooting side. And Matt Derrick will join us coming up at 11 o'clock. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Kendall Gammon, the world's greatest long snapper, will join us at 11 o'clock. Mick Schaefer today. Fast Friday with Andy Reid, the cuts. And by the way, thankfully the Chiefs won on Sunday, which means, folks, we get a Sad Fans today.
Oh, yeah.
Sad Fans, New York Giants edition coming up later on at the end of the noon hour. Some Sad Fans for that ear.
I'm all in. I can't wait.
It's a fun one. It's a good one.
We should do a Ryder Cup one of me being sad watching USA get hammered.
Boy, if this happens, we may do a Sad Fans Ryder Cup edition next week. I'm just hoping we get a Sad Fans Ravens next week, okay? Because the sad fans that aren't just fans complaining about the refs are much more enjoyable.
Correct.
And this was sad fans of eating their own.
Yeah.
So we'll hear that coming up later on in the noon hour, at the end of the noon hour with Mick Schaefer. Sad fans, thank you, Chiefs, for finally winning. Last year, we got so many sad fans. We got 17 sad fans last year. 17 weeks of sad fans last year. We got one so far. 913-912-4810 is the text line. I asked this question. You can weigh in on the text line as well. I'll ask you and Michael. I'll answer it as well. We'll see what Matt Derrick thinks. But the question I would have is, which team does this game, Chiefs and Ravens, and we'll talk KU, K-State. Mizzou has a layup tomorrow at 6:30. But KU and K-State both 11 o'clock. KU on TNT and right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB against Cincinnati. 4.5-point favorites are the Jayhawks. And 11 o'clock on FS1 is Kansas State versus UCF. 6-point favorites for the Wildcats. So we'll talk about those games. But for the Chiefs and the Ravens on a Red Friday, which team does this game mean more for? I'll give you my answer where I'm weighing in, Sterling, and you can weigh in on what you think it is.
I'm pretty confident.
Okay. I actually broke it down in a couple of different categories because I think you can have a different answer for two different ways of looking at it. So here's how I broke it down and looked at it. Long-term, macro view of not only this game specifically, but like the 50,000-foot view, I think it means more for the Ravens this weekend. They have no Super Bowl with this group of players. The Chiefs have 3. If they start 1-3 in a season where they are the or the second betting favorite out of the AFC, but the favorite in the AFC, and they start 1-3, and you start to look at it and go, okay, is Lamar Jackson's contract now getting to the Ravens where they are seeing some talent depletion, unknown about Matabuke moving forward? And you start to question, when do they win one? Maybe they win one this year. They're just, starting off 1-3, but you start to really question this group with the Ravens of what's going on, and the Chiefs have already won 3. They're a dynasty, and so they are not as desperate to hoist up the Lombardi Trophy when you've got a 2-time MVP at quarterback, and the closest you got was an AFC Championship game home loss in regulation. That's to me the long-term 50,000-foot view. The short-term, though, if we're looking at it like specifically in a vacuum, I think it means more for the Chiefs. And it means more for the Chiefs, and these are my reasons, and you guys agree, disagree. These are my reasons, is that this has bigger playoff implications for the Chiefs than it does the Ravens. Now, the Ravens have already lost to the Bills, and then losing to the Chiefs would be crucial for seeding. But in terms of getting to the playoffs, the Chargers are a better team than the other 3 teams in the NFC North.
Correct.
And they would already be 3-0, whereas the teams in the AFC North have already lost games, and the Bengals have lost Joe Burrow. So it's really the Pittsburgh Steelers that you're looking at. If the Chiefs lose this game and they fall to 1-3, and the Chargers go to New York and win, the Chiefs are 3 games back of the division.
Sure.
With only 1 game head-to-head left against the Chargers. It's not like you would have 2 games left where you go, well, they're 3 games back, but they can get 2 of them head-to-head. They can beat the Chargers head-to-head twice and take care of business. They don't have that. They got 1 chance. And by the way, the Chargers, after they head to New York, return home to play the Commanders, and we'll see if Jaden Daniels plays in that game next week. Then they head to Miami. We'll see if Mike McDaniel's even the head coach at that time. The Chargers could be 6-0 While the Chiefs, if they lose this game, would be 1-3 with a trip to Jacksonville and then a home date against Detroit. If the Chiefs are 2-4, while the Chargers are 6-0, I mean, you're talking about a 4-game difference with only one game head-to-head against the Chargers, whereas the Ravens have the game this weekend. They play Houston at home next week and the Rams at home the week after that. The Bengals head to Denver this weekend, which I think they'll lose. Then they play Detroit at home, which I think they'll lose. Then they head to Green Bay, which I think they'll lose. The Bengals, to me, are going to be 2-4 after the next 3 weeks. Pittsburgh plays Minnesota at home. They've got to bye. Then they play Cleveland. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to lose both of those games, but they could lose one of them. So if the Ravens lose this game, they're 1-3 with Houston and LA coming to town. Could be 2-3. Could still be ahead of Cincinnati and a game behind Pittsburgh with still both games to play against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. So I think bigger picture, it's the Ravens, but this particular year, short term, it's crucial for the Chiefs because the Chargers are a clearly better team than what the NFC North has to offer outside of the Ravens.
Yeah, I basically have the exact same premise as you. Again, long-term, big picture, it has to be the Ravens because of everything you mentioned. If you've not won a Super Bowl or even been to one in this current iteration, it's on you. The onus is now on you. And, oh, by the way, we've seen the Chiefs go on the road into your house and beat you. You've seen the Chiefs go into Baltimore. You've seen the Chiefs go on the road in the playoffs. Doesn't matter, right? They can do that. And so for me, I still say Ravens overall. They have a lot easier schedule, but more or less it is because the big picture and because we've not seen them have the playoff success that I think that the 1 seed is vastly more important for Baltimore than it is for Kansas City. If Kansas City goes in as a 7 seed, I'll okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry,
they've got to go
fine.
on the road for 3 games. All right. We've seen them do it before.
We've seen them do it. And so that's more or less where I'm at. I'm not going to panic if the Chiefs lose this game. And, again, no Rashee Rice. We'll see with Xavier Worthy. Probably going to play, but what's his limitations? No Rashee Rice. I'm not bothered yet.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered. I know some fans
Stay afloat. Don't drown. Stay afloat until you get Rice and Worthy both back.
Hell, I think if the Chiefs are 2-4, I know people are going to say it's blasphemous, but like
it's blasphemous. I can't believe you would say that.
Couldn't the Chiefs run off a long win streak? Like I just feel like because we saw the ending of the Super Bowl, because we've seen how they've started so far with a tough schedule, it's almost as if I don't want to say people have jump ship, but I feel like some of the panic has set in when I don't think there should be this level of panic. I think it's a much more important game for Baltimore for all the reasons we mentioned. And again, you got to get home field advantage if you're Baltimore. And your schedule is fairly light after this and the Rams. And again, you have a good chance of getting the 1 seed if you win this game.
And you've got to, even if you lose this game, to me, they're still the favorite to win their division. If the Chiefs lose this game, they're already not the favorite to win their division.
Yeah.
And if they lose this game, they become even heavier long shots to win their division. Michael?
I mean, I'm looking at it through the lens of what this season means, and I think you both make good points. I think Baltimore's still going to win their division regardless of Sunday's outcome.
Me too.
I think if the Chiefs lose on Sunday, you can almost kiss the division goodbye. And I know, Sterling, you're kind of like, no need to panic over 1-3 or 2-4. The issue is your schedule doesn't get easier.
No, but I guess my point was the AFC West, to me, it matters historically because you're going for double digits, but I'm not worried if the Chiefs aren't the 1 seed. I think if I was a Baltimore fan, I'd be worried even if you win the AFC North and you're the 3 seed or the 2 seed, well, you don't have a bye. You don't have,
at this point, I would say they'd be the 4 seed if they win the North.
Sure.
The way that Buffalo's playing, the Chargers are playing, and then the Colts are playing.
Completely fair.
Could we say, though, that for the Chiefs' goals this season, it's more important for them?
No, because they've won 3.
Well, because the goals this season, the goal is to win the Super Bowl. And making the playoffs is the first step for the Chiefs, certainly. I know that they didn't go on the road all 3 times when they won the Super Bowl, when they had to go to Buffalo and go to Baltimore, because they played
Miami
that game in Antarctica. I don't think that was a home game. Wasn't that played at the South Pole?
Oh, yeah, it was also on the road.
Yeah, it was in the South Pole.
Yeah, it was in the South Pole.
That's right. And then they played a road game a couple of years ago in Jacksonville on the equator, right on it, like right at the equator. So they didn't go on the road all 3 games, right? But I think this Chiefs team will walk into any stadium, and I don't care if the Gronk's saying they've been punched in the mouth and nobody's scared of them. There ain't a team in the NFL that wants to be there in the playoffs, home game, and say, who you playing this week? Oh, we're 5-point favorites against this team. Who? The Chiefs? Oh, well, I didn't. Okay, 5-point favorites, but it's
Who do you play? The
Chiefs.
It's the 3-seed Colts on the road or the Chiefs at home?
Right. I would take the Chiefs at home because that's a team that just simply finds ways to get it done in the playoffs outside of 2 Super Bowls when the offensive line was a train wreck and 2 home overtime games where the first overtime game, the first half set you so far behind that it was tough to overcome. And then the second overtime game, the second half was a travesty, right?
Yeah.
Travis-sham mockery is what it was in the second half. Michael? I didn't know if you were going to wait. Sorry, you.
I keep hearing noises behind me.
Oh, it might be. Is it my chair?
Ghosts. No, it's ghosts.
Maybe it's sad Giants fans.
Is it that? It's not the chair? All right. WD-40, anybody?
Is Dylan Michaels back there? Did he just come back and playing a prank on him?
Yes.
That'd be a good Halloween.
That would be funny. We should do that.
You get like beards, and you get Dylan. You said the.
Where can we find Shane? We'd have to reach out to Shane to see if
Shane
he can come
would be
to
the
the
hardest
office.
one to get.
Yeah, just get him to come to the office once in a while. Shane, if he just shows up from time to time, that'd be great. I feel like Dylan and Beards are here more often than Shane. It's weird.
Dylan might be.
So why is Shane never here? He works here. Just joking. He's here.
He's
every
always
day.
here. Shane is.
He's here.
I always see him when I walk down the halls. I just see him. He's just. By the way, I met T-Box for the first time.
How about that?
It's fun listening
When,
to.
last night?
Today, this morning, he was in here picking up a gift card.
Wow.
And I love it.
That's
I
cool.
love meeting some of the listeners. It's funny. He's like, I'm gonna listen to you in a couple minutes. I'm like, thanks, T-Box.
I appreciate that, man. You're mainly
T-Box is the GOAT.
Yeah,
we won the Meet Mitch gift card.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, because you went undefeated.
Did I get that
You
final
went
game?
5-0. Because, well, hold on. Let me look again.
I don't think I did.
I think you lost that final game. Actually, you had Ravens, right?
I think I had Lions covering. I didn't have the Lions winning, though.
Oh, well, let's look. Let's find out in real time then. Because I stopped paying attention because you were already 4-0.
I stopped paying attention after the weekend.
And he was at that point he was 2-2. So it didn't matter. At best, he would be able to
make
he
it
would still
respectable.
lose. Gosh darn it. I don't know where it's at.
I'll say
well.
5-0 just
Yeah,
because
sure.
why not?
Why not?
And I want to give Darcy credit. So
I know
Darcy,
what's that.
congratulations! I've made the executive decision. You
He's
went 5-0.
executively
Thank you.
decided.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He executively decided. So how about that? Good for you. Good for you there, fella. Doggone it. Dog gone. Okay, found it. Okay. Michael, you took the Lions plus 4.5.
So you won. You went 5-0.
You went 5-0.
Good week.
Mitch
great week.
Mitch went 2-3.
Did you parlay
It's
that?
a rough one.
No, I
You
should
didn't
have.
parlay
You
that?
should've, dude.
I should've.
You were undefeated. You had Lions minus 4.5. You had Chargers minus 2.5. You had KU minus 13.5. Saccharina plus 10.5. Nailed it. And the Chiefs minus 5.5.
Should have bought a lottery ticket. Should have probably put a parlay down.
Exactly. Why didn't you parlay that? Well, you have no faith in yourself, Michael. Come on, man. We need to start listening to Michael. That's what we
Maybe.
need. Yeah, it's Todd Lebo hanging out with Michael in the next segment, breaking down all the games for the betting purposes. But yes, we'll hear from Lee Sterling coming up later on this hour as well. So I go with long-term Ravens, short-term Chiefs. In which team this game means more for? Sterling?
I'm Ravens and Ravens again.
Both means more. Both mean more for the Ravens.
Correct. Again, because part of my short term is also long term, which is sorry for the fence sitting there, but it's because I think it's true. I do think Rashee Rice will elevate the offense a lot. Again, I don't think it's going to be the 2018, 2019 offense of 30-plus points a game, but I think you're looking at a 28 to 29 point per game offense with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy healthy. So for that reason alone, again, we've seen the Chiefs go on the road and get it done. We haven't seen the Ravens just get it done at all, no matter where they've been. So
home and road.
So for them, I think it's vastly more important, both sides.
Yeah.
I would say short-term Chiefs, long-term Ravens. Now, I think the Ravens might have some more concerns on that defense with the injuries.
Yeah.
They're probably worried about. But, yeah, I mean, important game for both teams on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's where I think even more from the long-term for the Ravens winning it is like, okay, it gives you a little bit more time also to see when Matabuke is coming back, whereas week 7 Rice is going to be back. Mm-hmm. There isn't a question of they're still trying to figure out what's wrong with them. Worthy's going to be back on Sunday. Full practice the last 2 days. Rice is coming back week 7. So you will, over the next 3 weeks, if Xavier stays healthy, you'd have both those guys. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll continue rolling. On the other side, I want to talk some KU and K-State, both with big games this weekend, and the different view from both of these teams. A team riding high with a chance to continue to show that they're real, and a team that is reeling that's got a chance to show that the first part of their season is not who they are. If that's the case, they got to change it quickly tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll talk about that coming up next. Well, look, man, the NFL season, it is rolling along. I cannot believe we are already into week 4 as week 4 getting underway last night with All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, the U.S., Schauffele and Cantlay taking on the Europeans. Europe in the Ryder Cup right now is up 3-0. This thing is tied with 2 to play with Schauffele and Cantlay. They were up 2 at one point. And the Europeans have come back to tie this, and there's 2 holes to play. The Europeans are in the sand, and Schauffele teeing off on a par 3. So we'll see what
very tough pin location.
It is.
Robert McIntyre has he gave him a fried egg lay in the bunker for Hovland to try and get out, short side bunker. And on the green, safe, about 20 footer.
I was going to say about 20 feet away. So can you 2-putt and hope that they don't get up and down?
Cantlay. They've missed USA back to back.
Makeable putts.
Makeable putts, very makeable. That would have. And if you just make one, you're up 1. You make both, you're up 2. But USA just feels tight. They feel nervous, and that was a huge shot there to at least give yourself a chance as McIntyre threw it in the bunker.
Yeah, and by the way, the last 2 putts have been missed by Cantlay. And Schauffele teeing off, and that means Cantlay's attempting this putt. So we'll see. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on at the Ryder Cup. 913-912-4810 is the text line to join us to be a part of the show, part of the conversation. 913-912-4810. Kansas in action against Cincinnati this weekend, and the Cincinnati Bearcats sitting 2-0. Their loss being at Arrowhead against Nebraska in a close game, a hard-fought game, a road game that counted as a home game. And then they took care of business against Bowling Green, and then Northwestern State they beat 70-0. KU, taking care of business against West Virginia last week. Cincinnati coming off a bye. This is a huge spot, I think, for Kansas, because when I look at Kansas, I'd mentioned that going into that West Virginia game, that this was a 3-game run for Kansas. If you can go 3-0, you set yourself up to be 5-1 taking on Texas Tech. And we didn't know what Texas Tech would look like because they were heading to Utah.
Sure.
So we didn't know that Texas Tech would go there to win by, double digits against Utah. It's a huge opportunity for Kansas to show that they are for real, that they have a chance to really compete in the Big 12, to start off 2-0 with 2 home games.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that, because a 3-game stretch for Kansas against West Virginia, Cincinnati, and UCF is about as an easy as a relative term, because it's, the Big 12 is very, closely contested with a lot of teams that have opportunities. Easy is a relative term, so I'm using that not as it's a layup.
Yeah.
But it's maybe as easy of a 3-game stretch of any team's schedule in the Big 12. It doesn't mean you go 3-0 and automatically, but at minimum 2-1. But it means you've got a real opportunity these next 2 weeks. Knock off Cincinnati, and even heading to UCF, if you were to lose that game, you still would only have 1 conference loss getting ready for a big matchup against Texas Tech. That is right now the favorites. They're the favorites to win the Big 12. You take care of business the next 2 weeks, and it sets up, game day in Lubbock. I haven't looked at the rest of the schedule on October 11th, but that's still a TBD game.
Sure.
There's no, we'll see what the game time is for that. They play 7:30. They play at night next week against UCF. But, that could be one of the marquee games of the entire day that Kansas could be playing in if they take care of business. Now, they're going to be focused on Cincinnati. We can look at the bigger picture, but it's a massive 2-game stretch to see Kansas. How for real are they? Like, how for real is this Kansas team? And if they take care of business against Cincinnati, then I think they are a team that can compete for the Big 12 and be in contention throughout the entire season, even if they were to drop that game to Texas Tech, which I think they will. But if they were to drop that game to Texas Tech, you then get the bye week. Kansas State at home, Oklahoma State at home. Arizona, we'll see how good they are. Bye week, and then at Iowa State, home to Utah.
Yeah,
massive 2-game end.
I do think if you are Kansas, I don't want to say must win. That's so silly, but I do think it's one of those ones where This is a tone-setting game.
Yeah,
you you beat West Virginia, but we don't think West Virginia is very good. Like I think we can all agree on that, as we're mentioning, alluding to. I don't know how good Cincinnati is. They weren't supposed to be good, but I am intrigued by that Nebraska game. I don't think Nebraska's great, obviously,
yeah.
but they have a talented quarterback. They have a lot of money spent on that team, and it was a road game that you lose by 3, right? Bowling Green's not a good one because that was too close of a game. You win by 14 against Bowling Green.
By the way, Cantlay just put the 20-foot putt about an inch short. Right on line, beautiful. It just slowed up right when it got to the cup, an inch short. That essentially would have been to guarantee a half point if he makes that. They would have had to hole out from the sand.
He already put it on the green.
My goodness, man. Oh, he did? Okay. Go ahead. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Sterling. Sorry
No, you're fine. No, I'm glad you told me. I saw the look in your face of despair, and
it was like oh my God, okay, darn it. Anyway,
so I don't know how good Cincinnati is. So this is a decent barometer because they played Missouri well, but when you look back, they did get dominated in a lot of metrics. Right?
Yeah. The post-game win percentage for Mizzou was like 90%, which means you take everything that happened in the game, you look at just the underlying numbers and say, what are the odds of the team that won winning that game was 90%. Sometimes you see a close game and it's like 50-50, sometimes 60-40. This was Missouri kind of dominated the game with some of the numbers, but, KU was there and found a way to keep it close.
Legit chance. I mean, if that ball's not dropped, and there's a couple of situations, obviously, that are going to happen in a game, but to me, I do think that this is a good barometer for the Jayhawks if they can take care of business against Cincinnati, win convincingly, because I don't think Cincinnati's maybe as bad as we originally thought they were going to be.
This will be, by the way, for Cincinnati, this is a big one for them to see how good they are.
I think you're spot on. I think that the Jayhawks match up very well with Cincinnati. The question to me, not trying to jump ahead too far, what is this team going to look like against UCF on the road? I think that might be the ultimate trap game. You play a big conference game after UCF. Is that when they play Tech? After that week?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a huge trap game. You're going down to Florida.
And we'll find out about UCF tomorrow.
Because I thought they looked great against North Carolina, but apparently everybody looks great.
But what's North Carolina, right?
Carolina.
I mean, what's that, Travis mockery there? I mean, they did, but here's the thing. They did, Michael, what you're supposed to do against North Carolina. UCF went there and won by almost 4 touchdowns. So they did what you were expecting them to do. So if they would have won by 7, it's like, they beat North Carolina at home, by the way. They beat North Carolina at home. They did what they were supposed to. No, they dominated North Carolina at home. So we'll see when they travel to Kansas State. And for Kansas State, real quick, because I know we're going to bring in Todd Lebo and Lee Sterling. For Kansas State, I've called this 2 separate 2-game seasons for the Wildcats. They've got, obviously, UCF tomorrow, and then at Baylor. Like, okay, UCF at Baylor. TCU, Kansas for Kansas State. Like a couple of games here where you've got this opportunity to go and, get back on track, I would say. Can you get back to playing as confident because if they played Iowa State right now, I don't think it'd be a closer game because they went into Iowa State thinking we're one of the best teams in the country. We can make the college football playoff. We're one of the favorites to win this division. And so UCF, Baylor, TCU, bye week, and then KU Tech. So it's probably 2 different smaller seasons. I shouldn't say 2 different 2-game seasons. So it's a 3-game season and then a 2-game season. This 3-game season, UCF, Baylor, and TCU, we'll see what they do against that bye week, and then KU, and then Tech at home. This is an opportunity for them to get back to playing confident football. Did they figure things out in the bye week? Did they regroup in the bye week to come back and play confident football against UCF? And, by the way, Vegas thinks so because Vegas still has them as almost a touchdown favorite.
6.5 is what I've seen, I was surprised by that.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll hear what Lee Sterling has to say. He's hanging out with Todd Lebo. That comes up next. Matt Derrick at 11 o'clock. More Zone next. Well, look, it's beautiful weather out right now. I mean, it is gorgeous, gorgeous weather out right now.
in the NFL. So we've been really rolling, and anyone wants to get involved, this is a great time. I mean, this weekend, the games in college football, the afternoon and evening window, second to none. The NFL games, I mean, are insane. I mean, Baltimore and Kansas City and Philadelphia, Tampa Bay says it all. So these are some great games all Saturday and all Sunday, and love to help you out. So we've had 30 out of 31 winning seasons, and we're rolling right now. They can get involved both ways. September to remember. 1 week, $97 if they use coupon code SAVE100. You're going to get probably 12 to 15 games from tonight all the way through Monday night, or through October 31st. We don't call it October, call it Locktober. $4.97 if they use coupon code SAVE100. 5 weeks of our phone service where we rate the games from 10 to 50 units, just $4.97. Use that coupon code SAVE100 on both offers. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
Awesome. Let's get after some college football games. Kansas had a week off 2 weeks ago after the big Missouri-Kansas game, and then they won last week, impressive fashion of West Virginia. They're home early start against Cincinnati. It's Parents' Weekend over there. Are the families all going to be happy with Kansas as a 5-point favorite over Cincinnati?
You know, I think that they just played such a bad team last week. They were able to cruise after halftime. So Cincinnati, I love their wide receiver playmakers, all transfers, all three of them here. West Virginia, like I said, anything they had left was expended the week before in the backyard brawl against Pittsburgh. So they caught them at the right spot. You can't judge, who you're going to base just on last week's result. I think Kansas is good. But Cincinnati, like I said, the playmakers are coming off of a bye here, and Bearcats have not been good on the road. 4-14 straight up in the Big Ten the last 2 years, 5-12-1 against the spread. But this might be a case where the public is going to be on Kansas, going to lay the wood here. Might be just too much. I had Kansas winning this game 33-30. I'm going to take the points. This is probably the toughest game to predict of all of them out there.
Yeah, a win is a win for them at this point.
Yep.
They just want to keep winning. Now, K-State will look for any kind of win. They're also playing early. They've got UCF. I think UCF's interesting. They barely won their first game against Jacksonville State, but they've been really good since then. I don't know if North Carolina's any good or not, but they beat the snot out of Bill Belichick last week.
Yep.
So what do you think here about UCF coming into Manhattan for an early start?
So usually I'm afraid of a team coming off of a big emotional game where Bill Belichick, he kind of gave him the blueprint. He was talking smack about him, didn't even know the name of the school, thought it was Central Florida, wasn't UCF. So I just think that Central Florida is one of those teams. They can beat the teams they're better than, just can't beat, the top 20 teams. So UCF is, get this, on yards per play differential over opponents, 3.37 yards per play better. That's top 10 in the country. Has to tell you something here. The Wildcat defense, they do that bend but don't break defense, but we've seen them struggle to get off the field. I just think Scott Frost is perfect for this type of program here. Just couldn't handle the pressure at Nebraska. But UCF might be one of those rare teams that gets up last week and gets up again after the death of their offensive line coach, Sean Clark, who passed away earlier this week. So Kansas State, they just either get outgained or they commit too many turnovers here. I like UCF here. 34-27.
That would be devastating for the Cats. They really need a win right now. All right, let's talk some National Football League. I can't wait for this game. Philadelphia and Tampa. The Eagles are like this year's Chiefs. They've won games. I mean, listen, they've won them, okay? But we've had the drop pass at the goal line for Kelsey. They had the field goal block run back. And then the Bucs have won all 3 games on a last-second field goal. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. Eagles are a favorite on the road at Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, and you're thinking, wow, how can Philly be favored here when Tampa Bay won last year 33-16? They've won 6 of the last 7 versus Philadelphia straight up. In fact, this is Philadelphia's 5th straight trip to Tampa when they played each other. So for some reason they keep getting scheduled and down there, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be probably around 90 degrees, 70% humidity here for this revenge game. But no Mike Evans. He's gone for a couple weeks. Chris Godwin, yet to return yet. Their offensive and defensive line really banged up. And in the loss last year, there was no Devonta Smith or A.J. Brown in the lineup here. I think Philadelphia, I mean, they keep taking criticism, but they keep finding ways to win here. I'm laying the 3.5. I have them winning this game 28-20.
Yeah, they're tough to beat. I mean, you really have to beat Philly if you're going to beat them. All right, now a team that looks pretty easy to beat is the Giants, okay? I was just up there this last week at the Chiefs game. They're going to make the change, go to Jackson Dart, but the Chargers look like a legit team. But this is a big road number for someone flying all the way across the country. It's almost a touchdown.
I thought that the Chiefs played pretty well. I mean, it's not against a great team, but a couple things that the Giants do well is they rush the quarterback, and I thought they protected Patrick Mahomes pretty darn well. Only 2 sacks on the game. You limit those big lost plays, you're going to be in a lot of games. And they force quarterbacks into making mistakes here. So this is a big game here. Obviously, whoever loses this game is going to be sitting 1-3. But I think Kansas City's defense flat out better right now. I think there's holes in this team here that they're playing, Baltimore, and on the defense, and they just keep committing big turnovers, especially Derrick Henry. The fumbles have cost them of late. So Kansas City's won 6 of the last 7 meetings here, including that 27-20 home win as a 2.5-point favorite to open last year. So you're going to tell me that much has changed in a year? Give me 2.5 points. They're not 5 points. Has changed that much here. So I think that this is a great spot here. Wrong team favored. Kansas City wins outright here, 24-20.
It's pretty crazy. They've been a dog twice at home. I mean, it's like unbelievable stuff. All right, so it is Locktober. It's September to remember still, and you've got a game of the week for us in the Big 12.
Yep. So they want to get involved. How about this? This is a huge game going. We're going to give them this game. Who knows? This could be decide who wins or gets into the Big 12 championship game. Arizona laying 2.5 points, taking on undefeated TCU. So Arizona seems to be catching their legs and playing well. TCU undefeated, blowing everyone out. So if you want to hop on board, get this game for free, just call 800-400-9741. Again, the number to get Arizona State and TCU on me, 800-400-9741. And how about this? Bunch of other ways to listen. If you want to check out my free plays, and each week we have a show called Locked On Bets on the Locked On Network. Just go to YouTube, type in these 3 words, Locked On Bets on YouTube. It'll come up. Just hit the subscribe button. Right after this show every day, you'll get a notice and tell you that it's usually 20, 25-minute show, 4 or 5 free selections. Also, it's available on Apple and Spotify. So check that out, and we are ready to go. Like I said, September to remember, 1 week, $97 with coupon code SAVE100. The same with not October, Locktober, $497 with that coupon code SAVE100. And even a UFC card, 7 big selections, just $37. UFC Fight Night from Australia, Perth, Australia. Everything's up and available. We're off of 5-0 Sunday and Monday. Just one place. ParamountSports.com.
That sounds awesome. It's a busy, busy weekend, and we've got Red Friday rolling on the Zone. Coming up next, Matt Derrick in studio with Jason and Sterling.
Schauffele and Cantlay ended up taking the point for the United States to wrap up the morning session of the Ryder Cup. So the United States trail 3-1. So they're only 2 points down. Could have been much worse. They could have been 4 points down 4-0. But they salvage a point, and they get ready for tee time in about 15 minutes or about 20 minutes or so from now. Scotty Scheffler and J.J. Spaun are going to be taking on Jon Rahm and Sepp Straka to start the afternoon matches for the Ryder Cup. And you know what? If the U.S. just goes out there and wins 4-0, that'd be perfectly fine. They should just do that.
Yeah, so
just do that.
Scotty and J.J. Spaun versus Rahm and Sepp Straka, DeChambeau and Ben Griffin. Love that against Fleetwood and Justin Rose. JT, head scratcher, and Cam Young versus Oberg and Hogard. And then Sam Burns and Patrick Cantlay versus Rory and Shane Lowry.
Ooh, okay. We'll see what happens with that. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest, and 41 is the Mike podcast hanging out with us today. Matt, what is up, brother? How are you, sir?
I'm doing dandy. I hear
Yay.
you guys saying that the U.S. is 1-3, and you still have optimism. So,
I watched the Ryder Cup with anticipation and excitement and the never-ending dread of how they're going to lose it. And I was a little worried coming into this one because they seemed to be the heavy favorite and more money was coming in on the U.S. And I'm like, oh, well, they're screwed then. And also, the last 4 Ryder Cups has been won on the home soil. That streak is going to change. I was just hoping that it would change in 27. And maybe it will. Maybe the United States will get it together. So this is a huge afternoon for the U.S. All the pressure is on them.
What did Daughtry sing about?
I don't know.
It's not over.
Okay.
It's a great song. I don't want to sing it.
Just remember this optimism with the U.S. being 1-3 on Monday.
Speaking of 1-3,
because could be in the same spot in a couple of days.
That's true. Who's going to be 1-3 this weekend, Matt? We ask you. We'll get your prediction at some point through this hour. But let me ask you this. We weighed in the first hour, and I asked the question, which team does this game mean more for, Chiefs or the Ravens? And we actually ended up splitting it up long-term, short-term, the macro and the micro, like bigger picture, long-term, what does this game mean, or which team does it mean more for, and maybe specifically the micro, like this week and maybe even the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, which does it mean more? Maybe you don't need to split those, but where do you fall when you look at it and say it means more for this team on Sunday?
I'm of two minds on this. And one mind is, I mean, if you just think about it from the standpoint of which team is better equipped to come back from that, I still feel like it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs at 1-3, they're not going to fall apart. They might be ticked off. Maybe that's what they need to be, is a little bit more ticked off. Who knows? I don't think effort's been the problem the last couple of weeks. But let's face it. I mean, this is the team that Marty Schottenheimer used to always talk about because they got the quarterback, which is that you just make the tournament.
Yeah,
and
right.
You still have a chance to win. And this quarterback and this team in particular. So, to me, it doesn't matter about their record. I mean, would you like to have the 1 seed week off? Sure. Would you like to have a high enough seed that you've got a home game? Sure. But could this team, if it had to, go on to playoffs? And I mean, if they're 1-3, can they make the playoffs? Yes, they can. Mm-hmm. Can they win on the road in the playoffs? Yes, they can. I mean, I just don't think that at 1-3, Baltimore can do that. So I don't think they could do any of those things. I don't think they could win their way back into the playoffs, and I don't think that they could, make that kind of run through the playoffs. But then, it's if the Chiefs do they need this? I mean, I could also see where a bad win would not help them. A win over the Ravens when you're not fixed could make them a little bit, thinking, hey, okay, things are fixed. Things are getting better when maybe they're not. I mean, if your defense powers you to a win and your offense goes out again and you win something like 20-17 and your offense puts up 297 yards on the day and you don't run the football effectively and you're not protecting Mahomes, but you somehow still get a win because of your defense, do you feel like things are fixed? Because you're, got a couple of wins now? You're feeling pretty good about yourself?
I'll say this, Matt. I would take an ugly win. You know what? I'll be bold enough to say it.
Yeah, I would take
sometimes you win more in defeat than you do in wins.
3-2.
I get what you're saying.
They won 3-2. The old Beard score.
Losing builds character, Sterling.
Yeah, that's right.
I know you've never lost, but
Sterling
never lost.
Sterling, you win or you learn. You understand?
And you can live and learn.
Yes,
I learned that
you
from
can,
a lot
and you
of
can live
Morissette.
and let live.
You can't lose and still win the game.
Yeah, you.
I believe that was
in
said
the
by
NFL. In the
Trent
NFL, you
Dilfer.
can't win when you lose the game. All right. So here's where is that both short term and long term that you looked at with the what it means for means more for the Ravens short term. Bigger picture wise, does your answer change there?
It really doesn't. I mean, if for no other reason, then I still think that the Chiefs. I mean, because once again, I mean, they're not the football that they're playing. I mean, they lost a game to the Eagles. That was a one-score game against a team that right now is 3-0, and you're thinking is backing up their Super Bowl run.
But
right
can
now.
we be fair
Nope.
No.
with some nuance?
Nope.
I don't think the Eagles played a very good game, and they've not looked great to start the season. They look like the Chiefs of last year, where it's
Until the
they
second
keep
half
finding,
against the Rams.
100%.
Yeah,
The second half against the Rams, they looked like the Eagles towards the end of the season last year when they started to say, so what happens if we throw the ball to A.J. Brown?
Yeah.
Does that help? Might. I don't know. Let's give it a shot.
Well, I can't say friend because I mean I've only met Chase Daniel once, so I can't really say friend.
You
I
can say
mean,
friend.
Can I say a
He did sign my a copy of Sports Illustrated with him on the cover.
Oh,
My
yeah.
dad did his
Nice.
wedding. Chase Daniel, my
What
dad
was he,
DJ'd his
DJ
wedding.
Wow, that's cool.
See,
That's awesome.
Sterling has never lost.
Very random fact. I don't know.
Sterling has never had to have character building losses.
Constant string of wins.
Well, I mean, why would I
Sterling.
lose when you can just win?
That's true. All he does is win,
It's the most
win.
Michael
win.
Jordan kind of
No matter
thinking I've
what.
ever heard from anybody.
And
Well,
I took it personally.
The problem is Michael Jordan was on the course today with the United States this morning, and they fell behind 3-1. LeBron wouldn't have let that happen. Just saying.
He would
Anyway,
have blew a 3-1 lead.
no, he comes back from 3-1. They need LeBron right now. You want to go get a guy that comes back from 3-1? Go get LeBron to go out there and hang out this
But
afternoon.
circling back to your question,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I
Let's
still
do
think
that.
that I still think the Chiefs' back end of their schedule is so built for a run that
So
bad start's not going to hurt them.
okay, so I think we all four agree on sort of the long term that it's Ravens. I short term went with the Chiefs, it meaning more for the Chiefs. And here's the reason that I put behind it is long term Ravens, like bigger picture, like, wow, I mean, you were one of the favorites to win the AFC. You haven't won a Super Bowl or even got to a Super Bowl with this group of players, and now you're 1-3. And who knows about defensively what you're going to be moving forward with Matabuke being a question and Harbaugh saying long-term health is a concern for us. So bigger picture, I think it means more for the Ravens. And so we sort of agree on that one. The reason I went short-term that it means more for the Chiefs is the Chargers are a better team than anybody else in the North outside of the Ravens, that if the Ravens were to lose this weekend, I still think they're the favorites to win the AFC North and guarantee a playoff spot. Whereas if the Chiefs lose this weekend and the Chargers go to New York and win, the Chiefs are 3 games back of the Chargers with only 1 game against them the rest of the way. They still have a great chance of making the playoffs, but their schedule is pretty tough. And so Baltimore 1-3, I still think they win the AFC North. Chiefs 1-3 and Chargers 4-0. I think the Chiefs are now scoreboard watching for a wild card and hoping that eventually you can be in position to maybe challenge the Chargers later on this year, depending on what happens. It's a long season. There still would be 13 games remaining after this week. So that's why I went short-term, meaning more for the Chiefs, because only 2 games behind the Chargers and still 1 left head-to-head is a lot more manageable to guarantee a playoff spot by winning your division. Getting in the playoffs, certainly, because I think the Chiefs could go on the road all 3 games and win. It's not ideal, but I think they can do that. I think the Ravens losing this game still win the AFC North.
And,
So that was my reasoning why I went with Chiefs short term.
absolutely. And if you think about, 12-5, 11-6, probably win the division this year. I mean, I don't think you have to go
For the
15
North or the West?
in the West.
Okay.
I don't think you have to obviously go 15-2. I don't think the Chargers are going to go 14-3 or 13-4. I mean, I think 12-5 will probably win this thing. Are you out of it at 1-3? No. I mean, you can still lose some games. I mean, you're going to have to beat the Chargers down the road. You're going to pretty much have to run the table in the AFC West, which I think this team can do. Not the way it's playing offensively right now, which is one of those things that you still have to fix. But I could see, I'm talking about the Chiefs. not maybe learning in a bad win, the same thing could happen to the Ravens too.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, I mean, if their defense stops the Chiefs' offense this week and only gives up 17 points, are you going to think that the Ravens' defense is fixed?
No, people will talk more about the Chiefs'
because
offense.
The Chiefs' offense has been terrible.
Yeah.
So if you're giving up 17 points to the Chiefs, it's like giving up 34 right now to some other teams.
Like to the Lions. You know, they gave up 38 to them. Matt Derrick is our guest. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. I wanted to get your thoughts here in the beginning and then move past it. The 3 games we've seen some sort of an emotional sort of outburst or an overflowing of emotion from Travis Kelce. Can you guess, or you know what? Is it even fair to speculate of what the outbursts are related to? Like, if we don't know what they're related to, can we think or assume that it could be negative in nature moving forward? How do you sort of view that with the Kelce emotions? He's an emotional player, competitive player, but I think there is certainly, depending on what those are related to, a chance that it becomes detrimental to the team.
Well, clearly he's been just exposed to some radioactive isotopes and is trying to avoid turning into the Incredible Hulk.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, it is unfair.
Green or red?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Red Hulk in a while.
I know. He does wear red. So,
I would. I mean, it would make sense to be Red Hulk.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unfair to speculate because we don't know. We've got Andy Reid's version of the story.
What did Travis Kelce say after the game?
I mean, I talked to Travis last Friday in the locker room about his podcast remarks and about him saying there's a lot on his plate and everything, and you know, and taking those answers and just taking what Travis has always said, I mean, and taking what Andy Reid has said, I think you can extrapolate and say that, hey, bottom line is that Travis is still the same emotional player that he's always been. I mean, and for better or for worse, those emotions get characterized in a different way and probably get expressed in a different way when they're struggling. Because, you know what, this dude is just as emotional when they're winning. It's just that when he's happy and smiling and going crazy and everything like that, it's good. It's just that when he's ticked off and throwing his helmet with the same energy that he's saying, you got to fight for your right to party,
right.
Everybody, freaks out. It's the same freaking dude. So I feel like I said, I mean, I feel like it's just Travis being Travis to a degree. Now, we don't know where the passion's being, directed. Is it self-directed? Is he frustrated that maybe he's not making some of the plays that he's made in the past? Because right now, I mean, that's what he told me that he meant by there's a lot on his plate right now, is that the team expects him to do certain things for this offense that he didn't do in that game against the Eagles, and he blames himself, and he feels like he has to hold himself accountable, that everybody on that team counts on him to do certain things. I've asked him if he feels like he needs less on his plate, that, fewer snaps, less workload. Does he need to be taking himself out of games if the coaches aren't, just to keep himself fresher? And he said if he felt like that, he'd be on the sidelines, he'd be retired. So he doesn't feel that, and he trusts the coaching staff to manage his workload. So I mean, hey, could it still be self-directed at just his frustration that he's not making every play? Is it his frustration at teammates? Is his frustration at the scheme? Frustration at the coaches? Bottom line reality is it might be a little bit of everything. I mean, it's most likely the Occam's razor in this case is that it's the same thing that Travis does when he's happy. He's celebrating and he's singing and he's chugging beers when they win, and when they lose, he gets agitated and shows it and throws his helmet.
He is pacing right now for 57 receptions and 760 yards through the first 3 weeks of the season. Now, I remember
what he had last year.
Yeah, we had 97 last year, but yards-wise,
because he had to catch a lot of those, 1.5 yard passes. Right,
I was going to say yards per reception at 13.4. I mean, he's averaging a pretty decent amount in yards per reception, and last year we did have sort of the same conversation about Kelce. Like, well, is Kelce is it over? Why can't he get the ball, right? And Mahomes was asked about it. Kelce was asked about it, and he ended up with 97 receptions last year over the course of the season. So this may ultimately change because we saw a slower start too a year ago. And the numbers say that he's faster this year than he was last year in the sprint speed. So maybe the lighter weight is making an impact. I wonder, and again, it's probably unfair to speculate, I do think there's a chance that some of the frustration is I put in all this work in the offseason because this season was going to be different. I was going to be back to being who I was, that last year I carried too much weight. That was my own fault. And I'm to blame for the lack of production and the offense. This year is going to be different because of all the work I've put in. And in 3 games, he has what would typically be a Travis Kelce single game of, 10 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Like, how many times have we talked about Travis Kelce game like that? Well, that's 3 games, and they're 1-2. I do wonder if some of it is frustration with himself that's overflowing, that I'm not either producing or putting the numbers up that I'm used to, or I'm the reason that we lost the Eagles game because I dropped the football and my head was late getting around, and I can't do that. I mean, there's a chance that it's self-induced emotions that Matt himself.
Yeah, and
although the headbutt to Jawan Taylor was not about Travis Kelce, that was about Jawan Taylor figuring to get the bleep out.
And that brings us back to a little bit of the 2 things that I think that Travis should accept, that I think he just hasn't quite acknowledged and factored into his decision making, because he still wants to be out there for every snap. And like I said, I mean, he doesn't show the inclination at this point, because some of it, I mean, he may be justly writing this. I mean, and he's not putting it on any teammates, because he made it very clear to me that he respects the heck out of all the guys around him, Noah Gray and Robert Tonyan and the backups, the guys in the practice squad. They got a good tight end room. But ultimately, he feels like he's the best player for the Chiefs to have out there at every single snap. Well, I mean, at some point in your career, even if you're Michael Jordan, even if you're LeBron James, even if you're Travis Kelce, you have to acknowledge that you need some time off. You can't play the same time snaps, the same minutes that you did at 27. You're at almost 36 now. You've got to accept that, and you got to accept that you're going to be fresher in games if you don't play as many snaps. Because I mean, when you're talking about that, when you're talking about your head was turned around slow, maybe your hands were slow and everything like that, you're talking about being tired. People get tired.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And here's the thing is that it was, and this is hard for great players to accept, and that's why I get it, because it's hard for them to accept that and understand that no longer at 100. They used to be at 100%. They were the best player in the game. Used to be at 70%. They're the best player on their team. Now at 70%. Maybe you're not better than Noah Gray. Maybe you're not better than Robert Tonyan. Maybe these guys are going to be better because they're fresher and they're going to be quicker with their hands and they're going to be quicker with their head turning around, and you're going to be able to do these things. I mean, Travis Kelce Travis Kelce at 1% will still be able to do some things that nobody else in the world can do because he's just that good at it. But
it's also a level of belief in yourself that Travis Kelce is still, top 10, bordering probably top 5 tight end in the league. Like at the end of the season, when the numbers are there, you go, oh, wow, he's still putting up those numbers. Because, looking around at the league, there aren't a bunch of tight ends, that are catching 10 passes for, 80, 90 yards a game the way that Kelce was. And last year, he had the second most receptions for tight ends and the third most yards for tight ends. Like, he was a top 3 tight end last year in a year in which it was like, wow, he said that he was out of shape and wasn't his best. He's still it's just the level of expectation of what we're used to seeing from Kelce. 10 catches in 3 games and 130 yards in 3 games and 1 touchdown is so below sort of his own standard that it becomes a boiling point and frustration.
And we're also getting to the point where it's difficult to really have any comparisons.
Yeah.
Now, granted, tracking snaps reliably in the numbers really only goes back to about 2013. Yeah. 2012, even the NFL says they're unofficial counts. So it's like pitch counts.
Yeah, right.
You don't have pitch counts from the 50s and 60s and 70s, but you got it now. So snap counts aren't really that big of a deal. But I went looking to just see how other tight ends performed in their snap counts at this point in their careers. And I think Travis is on pace for 700 some odd snaps this year, maybe a little more than that.
He's at 78% right now, so let me. But that doesn't mean
So it's probably end up being around 800. I couldn't remember the exact number.
850.
Even higher than I was thinking.
Yeah.
There were only 3 players who've at at past their age 36 season or later who had more snaps than that in a season in their careers. Tony Gonzalez had more at both 36 and 37. Now, those were his last 2 years of his career as well. And Jason Witten had more at 36 last year of his career as well. So now that seems like, okay, well, that's pretty rare company. I mean, only 3 guys that have done that. There's also only like 16 tight ends in the last, 15 years that have had snaps.
I was going to say that played at that age.
Mercedes Lewis.
Antonio Gates.
I think Lewis is one of them. I mean, there's not that many because most tight ends are just cooked by this age. So you got to be pretty good to make it to this point.
Yeah.
So, most tight ends don't. I mean, literally, there's maybe 1 or 2 tight ends per year at age 36 or later that's playing the snap count that Travis is in. He might be the only one this year.
Mercedes Lewis played last year at age 40 and played in all 17 games, had 1 catch.
How many snaps?
I don't have the snap count.
See, well, there you go. I mean, special teams, that'll take you a long way.
Yeah, I mean, special teams at 40 years old, I don't think you're returning to. No, you know what? I'm returning just to be on the teams. I'm gonna go.
It's like the Udonis Haslem of.
He played in 220 snaps last year. Special teams, he played 52. So he played 272 snaps total last year. 19% on offense, 12% on special teams. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling. We'll talk with Matt Derrick about the running game for the Chiefs against the Ravens. Juwan Taylor, what we're seeing from him. Getting Xavier Worthy back. What do they do with Xavier Worthy? And the difference between what we've seen the first half and the second half from the offense. We'll do all of that still to come with Matt Derrick here. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike Podcast. More Zone next. You know, it's your season. It's your shot. The NFL season, it is rolling. Week 4 underway. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast, hanging out with us. Matt, the running game has been talked about since the Lions were able to run all over the Ravens, and we're seeing the defensive line for the Ravens continue to be injured, with Matabuke out this weekend. Van Noy still not practicing. Travis Jones returned to practice in limited capacity yesterday, but Broderick Washington did not practice yesterday still. Do you think Andy Reid and the Chiefs will lean in more to the run game, or it does not? Opponent is immaterial. Opponent is immaterial, that it doesn't matter who they're going up against, that they're just simply going to run. They're going to do what they do.
I mean, at this point, when it comes to the run game, it does feel a little bit like they're going to do what they do because, I mean, they've had first 2 games of the season, they had teams just daring them to run with light boxes and didn't run the ball. When they did, they ran it ineffectively. So, I mean, this is a team right now that, and we've heard it a couple of times from the coaches, even from Matt Nagy and from Andy Heck. I mean, we've heard that this team just offensively is kind of at a loss right now.
Yeah, looking for an identity.
Looking for an identity, as we've heard now from a couple of people. And certainly some of that, hey, they've clearly, I don't want to say ill-prepared, but they were, I mean, one, you're never expecting to lose Xavier Worthy. Mm-hmm. So you can, that's another reason, another one of the million reasons why I just will always throw that first week in Brazil out the window. I mean, that's why I still think, I mean, to me, I kind of consider the Chiefs 1-1. And, you know, if you think about the Chiefs in a 1-1 state, it's like, okay, you know, now take 12-5 doesn't seem that out of the realm. I mean, that week 1 game, if you just factor it in, certainly you think less of this team, especially offensively. Although, once again, it was a 1-score loss in some really bad situations. But, you know, you look at the last 2 games, at least things are improving, but the run game still is a mess. The yards that they put up against the Giants are like the worst run defense in the league. And the Chiefs still could run the football. They had a lead against the Giants.
Didn't seem like they even really tried.
Couldn't run the football. I mean, the only guy who could run the football was Brashard Smith, who had 2 touches for 6.5 yards a carry. So I think that would be something that stands out to me if I'm the Chiefs, and think maybe I need to do that a little bit more. Even if the guy doesn't entirely understand the playbook at this point. I mean, you have to call the play in, and then Patrick lean over to him and say, okay, that means you run this way.
Yeah.
Go for it. Because right now, that's the guy in the backfield that looks the best, and I don't understand why. I mean, they know a lot more about the situation than I do, but I do not understand why Brashard Smith is not getting the football.
Do you think a legit trade? I know we talk about it all the time, and I think fans a lot want trades that just aren't going to happen. That's not the nature. It's not the NBA. It's not
7th
baseball.
rounder for Derrick Henry?
Yeah. But
Who says no?
But when you look, you are seeing a lot more trades happen in the NFL. I do think with younger GMs and the Madden generation, I think it's kind of funny. I think there is something to it.
Yeah.
Do the Chiefs go out and try and bring in a Breece Hall where Braylon Allen is looking like the guy moving forward? Do they go after a ETN where, you know, they have Tootin back there in the backfield? Do they go after Alvin Kamara or maybe even a Jalen Wright? I know Devon Achan's the fun name. I can't see Miami going after.
Yeah, Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard with
is,
Tajay Spears coming back at some point. So do we think a legit running back trade is in the cards, or is that still more of a pipe dream than anything else?
It's not a pipe dream, but it comes back to a couple of factors. And one, let's go with the salary cap reality. It's going to have to be a cheap player because the Chiefs have about $3 million in cap space.
Can I ask something real quick? When Brett Veach, that last preseason game, when he was on the broadcast and said that, you know, everybody keeps wondering about us making a move with all the salary cap space we have, but we're going to have to roll over a decent portion of that next year because we got a lot of business to do. It went from $16 million down to $3 million, and maybe I'm just, you know, missed something that's very obvious, but what took place as to why we were talking about at that point after the Bears game of, like, you know, Brett Veach saying, hey, don't even look at how much space we have because we're rolling that over. We got a lot of business, to now they're at $3 million.
Well, I mean, the one thing for sure is that, remember, you know, that time of the year when you're looking at the cap, it only counts top 51 contracts. So it doesn't count 53, doesn't count the injured reserve, doesn't count practice squad, all of that. So that point, it doesn't even count your dead money necessarily from some of your dead money from this year. That's the biggest part of it. That's why the biggest change is. Do they have some that they could squeeze out?
They could probably find it somewhere.
There's a couple of places.
Pennies in the couch cushion somewhere.
You've already maxed out what you can do with Mahomes and a couple of the other guys. Travis doesn't have any more years on his contract, so you can't kick any of that money down the curb.
You're not touching Jawan Taylor because you want to release him at the end of this year.
I mean, again, if you're talking about, it's the equivalent of the same thing, which is that Brett Veach doesn't want to go out and necessarily acquire an $8 million running back because he's got to steal. It's prorated, but say steal $5 million from next year for this year. He doesn't want to do that, so it's going to have to be somebody that's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Which, on one hand, you're probably looking at if you want an affordable, productive running back, you're probably looking at guys who are in the last year of their rookie deals.
Yeah, Breece Hall.
Breece Hall's a good example. But hey, what's the likelihood that in free agency he gets the Jets back? At least the third-round comp pick.
Right, yeah.
So, call it a fourth.
Are the Jets looking at that saying,
you're going to have to give them at least a fourth or a third for some of these guys. Maybe you can get a fifth for, some. But
and if you're going to give them a day 2 pick, then you're probably going to sign
down,
them. And if you're going to give them a day 2 pick, then you're going to have to sign them.
But the Jets aren't letting go of, like Breece Hall for a 6th or a 7th.
I agree,
because they're going to get more of that as a comp pick.
Because also, they know that Breece Hall, whoever he goes to, if we look at the trade deadline, if this happens at the trade deadline, there will be 8 weeks left to go in the NFL season, and that prorated the final 8 weeks of the season, it would cost the Chiefs $1.9 million against the cap for Breece Hall.
Yeah,
and nothing in 2026.
And let's throw in that if you want a team to eat some money, you're going to have to increase the value of the pick,
which is what Tony Pollard would have to do, because Tony Pollard's prorated after the trade deadline would still be over $3 million. Cap hit. And by the way, Alvin Kamara's would be just over $1 million prorated after the cap hit, and then they would have a choice of $11.5 million in 26 or moving on from them.
And as a sidebar to this, I've had the suggestion was like, hey, why don't you trade Jawan Taylor for a running back?
That's nice.
I just have to kind of work through this and like a counseling session here. It's like, okay, you can't complain about the quality of Jawan's play and then expect to trade him for value. So one of two things is true. Either Jawan's good enough to start, in the NFL, which means you should keep him, or he's bad enough that he can't start, in which case no one else wants him either, so you can't trade him. There's no world where it makes sense that if he's good enough for another team to say, oh, we need a left tackle, let's go out and get that guy that's going to cost us $16 million the rest of the year. And then you say, well, Chiefs could eat some of that money. No, they have no money to eat anything, so they're not eating anything. Not like you can say, oh, well, we'll send you Jawan Taylor for a 7th, but we'll eat some of that money if you up it up to a 6th. No, once again, who says no? Everybody says no. So there's no scenario where that makes any sense. Now, Wanye, maybe. Maybe you have a tackle that you could trade. But again, it's just like going the other direction. You can't trade a player that you believe has no value that's got a big salary. You might be able to trade a guy that's got very little salary.
Well, and if you're going to trade a player like that, in theory, that would be to then acquire a draft pick that could be flipped for maybe sweetening a pot for a running back.
Player for player is not necessarily a terrible deal either.
Sure. And with Jawan Taylor and his struggles and the Chiefs seemingly saying back-to-back weeks that, it's a problem. He knows he has to fix it. I brought this up yesterday, and if the Chiefs are going to say, hey, maybe we run the ball a little bit more against the Ravens, Jawan Taylor is brutal in run blocking, but Jalen Moore's pretty good as a run blocker. Would it be a perfect week to say, you know what, we're going to make this move here because we're also going to lean more into the run game, and we don't have to worry about just our guard-to-guards being good run blockers. Now we've got left guard to right tackle that are good run blockers, and Joshua Simmons is still coming along, but we have replaced Jawan Taylor, who has struggled at run blocking, with a good run-blocking right tackle, and now we feel like we can be closer to the recipe that the Lions used on Monday for Sunday afternoon.
Okay, we're going full psych 101
Let's do
today.
it. Let's do it today. Love it.
This is the only thing I say to poo-poo the plan a little bit.
Poo-poo
I get the plan. I do. You're not alone. You're not on an island, Jason. I've been asked this a lot this week.
Poop on the floor with this plan.
But it's if at the point that you decide that you're going to replace Jawan Taylor, you're done with Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, it would be that they're already going to make the move, but almost like a more of an emphasis because you can run the ball a little bit. It wouldn't be Jawan Taylor bench and then bring him back next week.
You can't exactly
against the Jags.
I mean, you're done.
Yeah,
and hey, I mean, Jawan's a good dude, but there is no player in the NFL, none whatsoever, that you're going to bench and their head's going to be right. They're done. So even if you went back to him at some point and wanted him to go back in there, he's never going to be psychologically the right way. So I mean, if you put in Jalen Moore gets hurt, and then you're like, we need Jawan back. It is just human nature. Jawan is going to be in his head in a spot where he's going to be worse than he is now.
And what I would tell Jawan Taylor is you're going to be a free agent after this year. So if you continue to suck and have it in your head that you're not good enough, then good luck getting a good contract after this year because we're releasing you.
Let's be honest. I mean, the reason why he's probably not playing up to people's expectations, maybe his own expectations, is the knee's not right, the ankle's not right. I mean, there are physical reasons for his play too. But, I mean, if you go away from him, you're losing him. So you're eating that rest of that contract. So
sunk cost. It's a sunk cost.
It is a sunk cost. I mean, so either you're keeping him and you're playing him, you're benching him, and you're never going back to him, and you're just going to keep him around.
But why? I mean, I do think it's a little unfair. I mean, I get the thought process of, well, now I'm a backup, but you're getting paid $20 million to do your job. If you can't handle being benched for a game because of the penalties and poor play, sorry, that's part of the gig.
There are some guys which you did that to, and I mean they're just negative enough dudes that they'd say, yeah, I'm making $20 million a year. I make $20 million. I'm getting paid that $20 million whether I suck or not. So give me my $20 million. I'm not saying Jawan's one of those dudes. I don't think he is, but there are certainly some guys who are like that. I mean, there's also some guys that make $20 million, and if they get benched, they're like, okay, I got to play better, and they're going to try and fight their way back. There's guys,
Derek Johnson, wasn't it Derek Johnson that got benched, and then he came back and was much better?
And Derek was really young at that point.
Yeah, that was different, but still.
That's the other difference. You can't compare that with young guys who are like in a rookie contract versus guys who are 7 years in the league, because when you bench a guy who's 7 years in the league, you're telling him, you're not good anymore. We don't like you. We don't want you to play for us anymore. And like I said, I mean, it's not even a conscious thing, but we've seen this story too many times in football that when you take a veteran like that and you say, hey, you're done, I mean, best case scenario is that they just take it like a man and play out the game, play out the rest of the season. They stick around. They don't cause any problems. They try and help out, give dudes advice. If they come back, they play their best, but they're not usually great players. I mean, because they're, like I said, they're mentally, wasted at that point.
I mean, Kirk Cousins just had this situation with Atlanta, and he had to come back and play in a game last week.
Yeah, and he's been cranky about the whole thing ever since. I mean,
yeah, I just if that's the guy, if that's his mindset already, if you think you'd lose him at that point, then I kind of feel like you've already lost him. Like I don't know that he's mentally strong to be able to take the week by week and the feel like he's good enough to even take on the defensive ends if he's not gaining an edge with getting an extra half yard on the formation or whatever. We need to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll do that. We'll get Matt's thoughts on this matchup. What will we see from Xavier Worthy? Is he protected, or you know what? Just go play football, whether you've got that shoulder injury or not. We'll talk about that coming up next. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. All right, Matt, on Sunday, Xavier Worthy's put in back-to-back full practices, so full participant both practices. I expect that he will play on Sunday. If he's out there, do you change up how you would use him to protect the shoulder first game out, or he's playing football because he's ready to play football, and so let him go play football? How do you think the Chiefs approach it? How would you approach it?
Yeah, I felt sorry for Connor Embry trying to answer that question yesterday, wide receivers coach, because I think he was trying to give his honest answer, but the answer is that there's just no way to protect him. It's football, and especially since everybody that lines up against him is going to know about the shoulder. So and especially this is the Ravens. So you think the Ravens corners aren't going to be going up against Worthy if he's lined up in a spot where he's not in motion? Do you think they're going up to him and not pressing him at the line and just shoving him in that shoulder every single chance they get? They're going to take hits on him every opportunity. So that is one reason why, if you're the Chiefs, you are probably going to put him in spots where he can't get pressed like that.
Yeah, get him off the line, have him
off
moving.
the line. Maybe even the slot a little bit would help. In the backfield would help. Put him in motion.
Yeah.
You want to try and get him in spots where he's not going to get that press, and maybe even in just game situations where maybe it's going to be risky for the defense to press. So, because if you do press him, you're going to have to bracket him, because the last thing you can do is try to press Xavier Worthy and miss him, and then 75 yards later, you got a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
But teams are going to try and do that. And then, talked about, hey, and Connor was like, well, we're not saying slide, go down or anything like that, but protect yourself. He's probably going to have, playing smart football, he's probably going to have to sacrifice yards at times to protect himself.
You know what? Take a page out of Tyreek Hill's playbook. Tyreek
going out of bounds.
He sees where the journey's over, and he'll slide head first, and get down, pop up, give the football to the referee. Let's go play some more. Yeah. Sees a guy coming. Let me just jump out of bounds here. Take a page out of Tyreek's playbook. You don't need to show you're tough by taking hits.
If you're going to get hit on that right side, spin. So maybe you get hit on the left. There's going to be things that are not natural to do, but in those split-second moments, you have to, because, the Chiefs, Xavier, everybody's going to be holding their breath every time he takes a hit.
Yeah.
Much more so on the right side. So on the one hand, he's going to have to protect himself. But on the other hand, it's football. You can't always protect yourself. So there's going to be a risk. There's no doubt about it. But, again, the Chiefs would obviously not put him out there unless the risk was more minimal than it was. Playing with the labor, guys do it. There's no doubt about it. He'll have a brace, that will limit. It's probably, the hits are probably going to be more pain related than anything else. So it's a pain management thing, which is, again, if he plays this week, it's probably going to be because that they feel like he can handle the pain. He believes he can handle it. Last week, he had
he's
soreness
a tough guy.
on Saturday,
He's
and that's why they shut him down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. That was
played a season at Texas
with a broken hand.
hand.
And that was one of the things that sold the Chiefs on taking him, was all the coaches in Texas said that this is the toughest dude you're ever going to have.
Yeah. Matt Derrick is our guest. Real quick, 30 seconds or less, and then we'll get your prediction. Does Tyquan's role change with Xavier Worthy back?
It probably is bound to change a little bit, but it should continue to change for the better. At this point, I think you try to find a bigger role for Tyquan and probably a little bit less role for some other guys. I think you still want him to be out there as much as possible, because right now I think he's your number 2 receiver. So you need to treat him that way.
All right, what do you think happens in the game, Matt?
This is two teams that are just mirror images of each other. The Ravens' offense cannot be stopped right now. Chiefs' defense is playing fantastic football. They've played different styles in the last 2 weeks, and they've both been winning styles. This defense can adapt to any situation, and we know that they have had Lamar Jackson's number over the years. They have handled him. The question's going to be is really which side recovers this week, the Chiefs offense or the Ravens defense, because the Ravens defense has been playing bad. Yeah. This is the week of the Chiefs offense. You want to get well. This is the week to get well. I just think the Ravens, I think they're just a little bit better right now until the Chiefs offense can truly wake up. And last week's performance did not impress me because it was the Giants, and the Giants have a terrible defense as well.
You Shania Twain? They don't impress you much?
They don't impress me much. So I'm going with and once again, nothing but one-score games until the Chiefs prove otherwise. But Ravens 24-23.
24-23 Ravens. Let's hope you're wrong.
No, I'm always wrong. So this will probably be Chiefs 48, Ravens 17.
Let's mark that one.
Yeah,
okay?
I like that one better.
There you go.
Let's mark that one. And then if the Chiefs lose 24-23, we're like, Matt, you said 48-17 last week.
I could sit here for the next half hour and just read off scorigamis
That's
until.
Right.
So I can
and
say,
probably wouldn't even come up with the right
it.
one. I mean, just like so many. There's a lot of combinations of scores in the NFL.
Shockingly.
Crazy how that happens, except for 1-0. There will never be a 1-0 game or a 1-1 tie.
It would be hard. It would be very hard to do.
Yep, that is true. Matt, you're the man. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. There's Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest. 41 is the Mike podcast, and he and Nick will have that podcast rolling late Sunday night, and there for you on, I don't know, Monday early morning. Maybe Monday early morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning. Who knows?
Oh, we'll be 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
but
heck yeah.
on your driving to work, yeah.
And do that. Kendall Gammon next.
He has a different view of the world. Maybe because he spent 15 years looking at it upside down. He knows exactly how many times the ball will rotate on a long snap, and he'll juggle anything you throw at him. It's Kendall Gammon in the Zone. Brought to you by Crown Toyota and Crown Volkswagen. Recognized as the #1 place to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. Visit crownautomotive.com to see the latest deals. Experience the Crown difference.
That's right, hanging out with Kendall Gammon here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Kendall, what's up, brother? How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself? How's everybody here today?
We are doing just fine.
Wonderful.
We're doing just fine. The United States salvaged a point this morning in the opening 4 matches. They are in the afternoon session with the 4 out there, so they are trailing 3-1 right now. Hopefully this afternoon goes a little bit better than the morning did. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. You went to a Ryder Cup before?
I did. Wells, Celtic Manor, I think we said, was
Yeah.
it 2010?
2010.
Yeah, so that goes back a ways. And that was one, if you remember, rain canceled the day on Sunday. And so they had to push it to Monday. And, of course, a lot of people didn't stay. We were like, how often are we going to get over here to do this? So we redid our tickets and were there the next day, which was nice because you had about a third of the people. Just a wonderful time.
Lovely.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, it's It's definitely a bucket list thing that I'd love to go and attend and check it out and be, in the audience for that. It's interesting because I don't know that it would be a bucket list to watch it overseas.
I don't know.
I know that's the best place to see it.
Like that's what everybody says.
Oh, yeah,
that's what
it's
everybody
fabulous.
says. But I almost feel like, man, I don't know. It's I don't. It's odd because maybe I just think of the Ryder Cup overseas, and I'm always thinking of rain and overcast and
Well,
like
you would
gloomy,
not be wrong.
gloomy
No
weather.
doubt. Yeah.
Where
But that's
you know,
part of the
I know.
mystique and the magic.
Yes.
Totally get it. I get it. Yes.
And imagine watching the United States of America just win overseas as you're decked
did
out. It doesn't
not see
happen
that
often.
unfold.
No,
No,
but
didn't.
what if you do?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
going to be
exactly
wearing
right.
red, white, and blue, bald eagle shall fly, like Ted Nugent playing in the background, Stranglehold. We show those, a lot of British and other countries, what the United States is about, baby.
So you were there in 2010, and you were there on the final day.
I was,
on Monday.
absolutely.
So were you there at the match of the Graham McDowell Hunter Mayhem that came down to like the
absolutely.
final putt for the
Yeah, it was
entire
right
Ryder
there.
Cup?
Yeah, right there. He was chipping from the front of the green, I believe. And really, I mean, it's tough. He had to make it to push it or whatever, and he flubbed it. But we were right there on the green, and so we start walking after that. Now, you'd had a lot of rain, like we just talked about over there. All the days, and so a friend of mine, Tim Sinclair, and I, we had black rain suits on with red underneath, and they looked unbelievably similar to the USA's what they had on as well. And afterwards, everybody's just done walking in, and then we walk and we kind of went the wrong way, and we end up we realize that we're walking Tiger's over here and Phil's over here. Never seen so much concentration with them. Very disappointed. They were asked if they wanted to ride in with the cart, and they're like, no. They kept going. And my buddy Tim, who's generally not shy and goes in everything, we're walking for a while, and we're walking down 18 fairway, where we're not supposed to be, but we look
fine.
like everybody else.
Just act like you're supposed to be there. You're fine.
Exactly. That's what I told him. He
Yes.
goes, "What's going on here?" I said, "Just act like you belong."
Yep.
And we're going, and to where we went over the 18th green, and we could have gone left into the clubhouse and go right, and I started to go left.
Yes.
Which is normally not me because I'm a scaredy cat. And meanwhile, he kind of chickened out a little bit. He said, no, we got. I'm like, what? Who are you, and where's Tim? I mean, unbelievable, but a really, really cool experience for sure.
So you thought maybe you might have been able to go into the clubhouse based on your attire.
There's no doubt.
And just
we would have got into the clubhouse.
Yes, that's awesome.
I think that for sure. It's interesting too, because it's the last day, so everything's done. And I remember Tim asking me, he goes, if you had a choice between one of the flags, which one would you have? Because they had flags everywhere or whatever. Yeah. I come to find out, and I told him a gold one. I was like, yeah, gold, black, whatever. Come to find out, when I lost him for a while as we were walking out, he had gotten up to the bleachers and skimmied along, whatever, and taken a couple of flags. I mean, flags that are, like this by this. And, everybody out there, you can't see that.
That's
but
about 4 by 4.
4 by 6, 4 by 6,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, and I was just like, what? He goes, yeah, no, I just wanted to know which one you wanted, and he got himself the other one. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
it was.
He'll do that, but not go in the
Yeah, but not
clubhouse.
going- not following the
Thank
clubhouse.
you.
They might have given you a flag when you went into the clubhouse.
Yeah,
It's just like a
they would have given us something.
door
probably,
prize.
no doubt about it.
maybe a high
Yeah,
five. I don't
there
know.
you go.
Consolation prize. You might have gotten a check handed to you for participating as part of the losing team.
Yes.
You never know what it could have been. You could have retired that day. I mean, you had already retired, but you could have retired again.
Oh, the regret.
That day.
The regret.
Absolutely. Kendall Gammon is our guest. The Chiefs get ready for the Ravens coming up on Sunday. Wanted to get your thoughts on, Dave Tobe yesterday was talking about the contact with Harrison Butker on the football, that, he doesn't miss right, and he's missed a couple of kicks right so far this year. 23 and 24 seasons combined, Harrison Butker missed a total of 8 kicks, extra points and field goals. He's missed 4 already this year in extra points and field goals. But Dave Tobe said, it's just a small little thing here or there, fundamentals. When you see Butker and kicking, do you worry that this is the beginning of what could be a rough season, or it's a first 3 game slump and Butker's got the experience and he's going to find out what's going on, and that what Dave Tobe said, contact issue is going to get fixed?
Yeah, and this is a guy that went to Georgia Tech, very bright, and I think there's enough sample size out there of what he can do, and this little bit is just kind of I think it's a little bit of a hiccup, and I think he'll get through it. And that's the one thing that separates the good kickers from the bad kickers is you're not always perfect. So the fact is, can you come back after things don't go perfectly? That's what it's about. You can't be perfect, but you want to be consistent, and I think he'll get there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it's an issue. There's no doubt.
Right. And I'm glad that they're staying. I'm glad that Matt Araiza was the punter this year, and they don't have they didn't have a new punter, because even if the new punter was doing and Holder was doing exactly what Matt Araiza was doing, we would immediately be wondering, like, well, you changed out Matt Araiza.
Exactly right.
It's a new Holder.
That's a really good call.
And now he's missing kicks.
Yep.
So was it worth it to have this new punter come in?
That was a Tommy Townsend. It moved on from Colquitt.
Right.
And it was just it's Tommy's fault. It's all Tommy's fault.
Absolutely. I confess he did it.
It's got to be the holding. It's right. I will admit I'll take responsibility for it being his fault.
It's his fault.
Yes, for sure. So I'm glad that at least we're not wondering about the relationship between Holder and kicker, that it's the relationship between Butker's right foot and the contact with the ball.
There we go. Absolutely.
But did you see any, like when he misses right like that, especially the long kick against the Eagles when he missed it by that much? Like I don't know that I've ever seen a Harrison Butker miss that far.
No, I hadn't. And just when it happened, it was like, oh, I mean, it was kind of ugly. And I think he would say the same thing. Do I know what's going on with him? No, I haven't watched him enough. And it's kind of funny when I say that. I could have an idea where kicks were going when I was playing, when I was snapping in pregame, just from watching them kick the ball. You do it several thousand times, you start to get a clue with what's happening. But with him, I have no idea. I just know that he's so cerebral, and he's went back and looked at everything, and clearly just not contacting it where he wants to.
How would you know then in pregame where the kick was going to go based on pregame warm-ups and just having 1,000? Was it the sound or
the sound was some of it, and then also is just seeing the follow through with everything and seeing how if I don't know how I explain it, whether it seemed smooth or not, and then I would look up to see if I was right.
So you were looking at it through your legs, and you could see the follow through and the kick through your legs and know if it's good or not.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I think
the kicker's reaction of
exactly that also.
That's what I look at.
Yeah. Well,
what's the kicker doing?
I always kind of liken myself to a catcher in baseball, which is you're talking with the pitcher sometimes to calm them down. I remember specifically with Morton, one game he just wasn't kicking well. Pregame, and he comes up and he goes, "Kendall, I have no idea what's going on, what's happening." I'm like, "Dude, you've been doing this 19 years? Just keep going. No matter what's going, just keep going. You get in the game." Unconscious competence, you'll do it. Your body will know, and it's exactly what happened. He got into the game, he kicked, he was fine. But it's easy to get in your head when things aren't going well. I've had games before where I'm not snapping very well beforehand. I'm just like, what the heck is this? But to go with the golf theme, you don't practice in the game. You don't practice on the course. You just go with the game. You deal with what you brought to the course or to the game that day, and then you figure it out in the weeks or the off season.
I imagine. Now I'm imagining like pregame Morton Anderson coming up to you and saying, "I don't know what's going on," and you're saying, "All right, line up for the kick. Let me look," and then you turn around and look between your legs to see how he's swinging, see if you've got tips for him.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to picture it that way, that's fine. Hey, this is your show.
This is how I see you kick all the time. Well, I can't just look at you.
Kendall,
the intro says that he looks at life, upside down to a different lens.
As long as we're going down memory lane, this is kind of a funny one. So there's a gentleman by the name of Gene Bicknell. He had the most Pizza Huts in the world at one point. He's from Pittsburgh, Kansas, unbelievably successful, great individual. When he was retiring from something, I forget what it was, when I was still playing, I think I was with the Chiefs, and they asked me if I would send a video, congratulating him on this and this and this, and so I did. So I had the video guys with the Chiefs come help me, and I'm on the field, I'm standing up, and I said, "Hey, Gene, just want to tell you, what, this doesn't feel right." And then I said, I think this is supposed to be business attire. So it cuts to me now telling them the same thing, except I've got my pads and uniform on and everything, and I'm going for a little while longer. I'm like, what? It still just doesn't seem right. And then the last one was me, just them filming me from behind between my legs. And so I did the whole thing with my helmet on, and uniform on the field, looking behind, just telling them congratulations, great time.
That's awesome. Yes. That's
awesome.
That's how he's viewed life. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
3.5 revolutions at a time.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
Visiting with Kendall Gammon. We had mentioned before before you got on the air here in the segment that the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame came out, and those that are being enshrined. Yeah. And Alan Wright is going into the Hall of Fame. 40 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was just like a 15-year pup at that time when you were around him. And he'd only been around the squad.
No, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. He was an assistant equipment manager then.
Right. But 40 years with the team. It's amazing that that he's been like everybody that's come and gone in the Chiefs organization. Right. Alan Wright has been the guy that's been there and stayed there.
It's amazing, and if you know Alan, then you know that this is a guy that is. He's a great person, and he's just good at relationships, good with people. And, I mean, I would argue maybe the closest person to Andy Reid is him because of how he holds in esteem how Alan organizes a practice. I mean, he's told with what everything's going on, but he's got the ball spotted and everything. And he goes over it. Yeah.
What is his responsibility? So he's in the people talk about Alan Wright. So what is he doing?
Well, lots of things, but I think he still spots the ball out there and is telling the team which way we're going and everything. And that sounds like little things, except when you do that quickly and you have this pace going, it's very much appreciated by the coaches and especially the head coach. And I know Andy Reid appreciates it. He appreciates most everything. But Alan's just on his game. And then, I think he's kind of split up duties with the different guys in there between Holt and Schroppy and I'm going to get in trouble for missing one of the names.
You're fine. Once you start down the road,
I know exactly right.
Be able to...
somebody handles the helmet, somebody handles shoulder pads, somebody handles the equipment, and whatever it may be. But he's just great with that stuff, and invariably, just the relationship. I was there 7 years, and for whatever reason, I would just always go back with the equipment managers, and several of the offensive linemen would do this, and fold towels and talk and help them out. And they're doing hundreds, if not thousands, of towels a day, whatever. So in my tenure, I have tens of thousands of towels that I folded back there and talked with them, and it was really good stuff. And don't forget, Mike Davidson before him, who brought him in, and how great he was with stuff as well. But certainly, congratulations to Alan.
He started in 1983. With the Kansas City
and it was just
Chiefs.
Like running people to and from the airport and things. I mean, he's told me some stories that just can't tell on the air, but they are interesting. And he's been around a lot of things.
Yeah, and the guy that's in charge of packing everything, that's got to be a stressful week. Like you're getting ready to go on the road, and everything's got to be packed for all the players.
There's another thing though. He's gotten a hold of. Cold weather equipment and done things. I think at one point in time he got a hold of some thin scuba suits or whatever for guys to wear. And I think a lot of that stuff happens all the time now, but he was doing it first. And, vests for the coaches that are battery operated to keep them warm, and sometimes for the players, some things that manner. He's just always looking to help out. For me, people don't know. We wear either the Sharks, the molded cleats, or we maybe have 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch if it's whatever. I went out there and I worked, but even worked on the pregame and stuff. But even before I go out there, I would just simply ask him, "What do I need to be wearing?" And he would tell me, and I was like, "Okay." And I would go with that, and he was never wrong.
Wow! And then you've got to have everything ready to go to change out in case.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When they were down in Arizona, both for Week 1 and then the Super Bowl, the whole talk was about which cleats you were going to wear and who was going to change out cleats, and at halftime if you had to do something different. He's worked 5 Pro Bowls, 4 straight Pro Bowls, 2014 to 2017, as the equipment manager. So. Congratulations to Alan Wright going into the Hall of Fame, the Missouri Hall of Fame. So very cool. And another year passes without getting the call for me. But you know what? I'll one day,
I thought you had it. I really did.
It's just, I think I showed up on 71% of the ballots, and it was 73 to get in. So it's just right there. I just need to convince a couple of other voters. I asked Matt Derrick this in the previous segment, Kendall, and it's Xavier Worthy on Sunday with the shoulder injury, playing for the first time with this brace. And Connor Embry mentioned yesterday that, Juju has had the injury, and so, he's kind of giving him tips and what to do. if you're out there and you're playing injured, can you try to change your game in any way? Is it on your mind, or you just go play football and what happens happens? Because I wonder if they do anything different with Xavier Worthy, because he is nursing the shoulder, and the last thing you want to do is have it be re-injured.
I think the mindset is that you're going to do something, but when it comes down to it and you get in the heat of the battle, it's unconscious competence again, and you're just going to go after it. And maybe bad things happen, maybe they don't. I go back to my rookie year with the Steelers, playing the Bears midway through the season, and I subluxed my right shoulder, so it went in and out, and it did not feel good. I got through that game, but then the next day I could barely move it. I'm like, well, here we go. And of course I'm getting pressure from the coaching staff, mainly the training staff, because they're trying to figure out, you going to play this week? Because if not, somebody's got to do it. Yeah. And so they got me ready, and so by the end of the week, I was basically okay, and that was after having subluxed it. So not completely what he had, but very similar. So I think after a couple weeks, and you have a brace, and I remember I feel like there's a lot of guys that I've known that played in those braces and did okay. So I feel like if you get a little confidence that brace is not going to let it go back out, you can deal with some pain, or there are ways to deal with that pain in the NFL. So I think he will be fine.
And it didn't reoccur for you that particular year?
It did not, thankfully. No.
Yeah. That's one of my concerns too. Is
exactly right.
Is reoccurrence is like 50%. With guys when they pop their shoulder out of place, especially early in the season when you're going to be having the wear and tear the rest of the year on your body.
I'm always surprised because I popped mine out before, and it went right back in because I landed on it. Mm-hmm. And I was completely fine.
Really?
It's so tough. This guy,
No.
Kendall, he's just so tough.
This is not me trying
Should we give you Worthy's route tree then?
Yeah.
I didn't even have to do the show in a brace.
You can give me the route tree, but we'll see how it goes.
Kendall, he didn't even have to do the show in a brace. He just did the show with no brace whatsoever.
I'm just always surprised because I just thought that was normal. So anytime someone says that, I'm like, oh, well, why aren't they? I didn't know that there's multiple. I thought once it gets back in.
You're special, first of all.
Thank you.
So,
but once it goes back in, I just figured you were good. I didn't know there was like a.
Yeah.
There are different degrees of the subluxation.
I probably just had like the.
Might have had a quick little out and in.
Yeah. But again, I could be wrong. Some medical people out there like that Kendall has no idea. But I feel like the braces they put on can restrict it in a fashion that it's not able to come out of socket. I could be wrong.
Technology today is pretty ridiculous.
But with that, him being a wide receiver, that seems different than an offensive lineman.
No question.
To an extent.
Yep.
I guess my concern is, and luckily for him, it's not A.J. Brown or Mike Evans where you go up and get a receiver, where he's going to high point the ball.
Right.
That's not his game. I just wonder how it will affect him trying to catch the ball, the mental side of things too. Of alligator arms. Can you get your arm out there enough?
He looked like the videos that they've showed in practice. Like he's catching regular. Like he looks like he's got his range of motion. My concern is the guy wrapping him up and falling on him.
Agreed.
With that right shoulder, because
Well, and I heard you guys talking about it, like Tyreek Hill. Get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds,
don't
slide
take the
down,
hit. And he should be able to do that.
Yeah, but Tyreek was so good at that. Here's the thing, Xavier. We know you're tough. You don't have to prove it by taking hits in the game.
Yep.
You do not have to do it. Like last year, Jaden Daniels, with the Commanders, like every time he got an opportunity, he would like lower his shoulder and hit somebody. And it was like,
no,
dude, you don't have to prove yourself. Don't prove yourself that you're a tough guy. Like the concerns where he slide a build, can he stay healthy?
Right.
And it was like he was almost looking for contact to say, see, I'm a tough player. It's like, no, run out of bounds and prove you're tough by playing the whole year. Which he did last year, and it's unfortunate that he's missed last week and probably going to miss this week as well. I think he's going to miss this week. I haven't paid much attention to that, but I just think of that when it's like, Xavier, you're tough. I don't need you to prove you're tough. Get out of bounds and
as a franchise QB, as a number one receiver, a receiver you're depending upon. Being tough and putting yourself in harm's way is actually selfish. I mean, to the team, you've got to be around for the next plays and live to fight another day. If it's playoffs, then you take more chances and you do things. But otherwise, self-preservation. It's a long season.
It's a good way to put it. Kendall Gammon is our guest as we get ready for the Chiefs and Ravens coming up on Sunday afternoon out at Arrowhead Stadium. 3:25 with that kick, and should be a fun one. We'll find out about what the Ravens will have defensively and offensively as well, because Ronnie Stanley didn't practice the last couple of weeks. I haven't seen an update yet need to go and check it out to see if Ronnie Stanley is practicing today or not. But this is it's a massive game for both teams, obviously, getting ready for it. And the season hasn't started off the way that people would have hoped that it would be, sitting at 1-2, potentially 1-3. You've played the game. You've gotten near the end of your career and maybe saw the light at the end of the tunnel. As a former player, and I asked this to Matt Derrick in the previous hour too, because one of the conversations has been, to Andy Reid and yesterday to Matt Nagy about Travis Kelce and some of the emotions that are there. And it's 3 games in a row. And Andy, a couple of games, Travis and Jawan Taylor, in week number 1. When you think of what's going on with Travis Kelce, are the frustrations of the wins and losses, frustrations of his play, maybe difficult to even venture a guess of what's going on, but he's already a passionate player as it is. And I wonder, these first 3 weeks, if it's easily explainable, and then like 6-7 weeks from now, we'll be like, hey, remember what those first 3 weeks when we were talking about Kelce and his emotions and what was going on in those weeks?
I'm just going to wait. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the above. I'm just. But the fact is, there's a lot of things going on. I personally think this is his last season. I have zero to base that on, but that's just what I think. And yeah, you're frustrated because you're not contributing as much as you want to and as much as probably you think you can. You're frustrated when you see guys who are making mistakes over and over again, and that's affecting you. And he is a leader on this team. I think Andy said it. He's been doing this longer than anybody on the team. So, I think all of that comes into play for sure. But I also think he's going to be fine this season.
As a former player, you see that. Does that register with you at all? Or, you've been on sidelines to where everybody's watching going, oh my God, I can't believe, look at Andy and Travis and Andy and Travis again. Look, as a former player, do you look at that and have the same reaction? Or, you've been on so many sidelines and you're like, oh, that takes place on sidelines in the NFL.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, first of all, obviously there's probably a camera on Travis, honestly, the entire game. Somebody's probably got him singled out with that, and understandably so. So you're dealing with that. But, I haven't played for 15 years. I've seen lots of, little hiccups with coaches and players, whatever. I've seen one really big hiccup where that coach just went too far and the player had enough, and that was in New Orleans. And, of course, all kinds of frustration my years in New Orleans, my character-building years, as I like to call them. So it is. But what they're saying is right also, which is, and you guys know this, I understand, but it is an emotional game.
Yeah.
And you can say things and do things that, afterwards you're like, I'm sorry about that. And generally it just melts in the locker room and you just go about your business. But I understand his frustrations.
Yeah. And I think it'd be different if we didn't already know the relationship that those two guys had and the respect that they have.
Yep.
I remember doing a show with Eddie Kinnison when he first retired. And one of the things that he brought up, and I never thought about it this way because, just playing high school football and not really playing, just watching high school football while wearing pads. It was a great seat. I had the best seat in the house to sit there right on the sideline wearing pads, cosplay, I would call it, on Friday nights, watching other people play football. And then you see college. You see the coaches and how they interact with players in college and how sort of in your face it is. And talking with Eddie Kinnison, and there was a sort of back and forth that took place with, I think it was Todd Haley. Or maybe it was Todd Haley and somebody else, but Eddie Kinnison was weighing in on it. And it's the first time I viewed it through this lens because I, didn't know any better. But he was like, that's not how you talk to a player in the NFL. He's like, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm doing a job. You're doing a job. You can talk to me like a man. You can talk to me that you think there's the same level of respect between us.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's how it is in the NFL? Like, you don't just scream and yell at him like you do in high school and college? And
no.
And so that was one clearly where there was an issue that was seen on camera that isn't to the level of Kelce and Andy Reid.
Right.
That became an issue with that player and that coach because of that player feeling like there was disrespect from the other side, where Andy and Travis, I don't think they view it as disrespect. I think they view it as passionate player.
No
I
question.
know you know me, we're good.
Yeah, and Andy Reid is very well known by players, former players, of having so much respect for the players in general, having respect for when he has to cut players, understanding that it's either ending their career or maybe it's ending their dream to play in the NFL. He's very appreciative of guys who get out of the NFL and continue to do well and do things. He understands that all that is tough. This is a guy who's just put together. And so, no, there's no ill will. It's just the emotions with what's going on, and certainly he and Travis are close.
Yeah, visiting with Kendall Gammon, presented by Crown Toyota, Crown Volkswagen. All right, Kendall, this matchup on Sunday, it is a Ravens team that's banged up. No Matabuke, no Van Noy. Travis Jones, their defensive lineman, returned to practice yesterday, limited. Broderick Washington, starting defensive tackle, did not return to practice yesterday. Patrick Ricard, their fullback, missed practice again yesterday, missed the game on Monday night. Ronnie Stanley missed practice back-to-back days as well with an ankle. There's a lot going on with them. Chiefs are getting healthier. Xavier Worthy's returning. Michael Dana returned to practice. Do you have a feel for this game on Sunday, what we may see?
Yeah, I do. A lot of people talked about the importance, and it's important to both teams, but I feel like, it's not even close. The Ravens are the best team in their division, so being 1-3 for them is not as tough to come back from as being 1-3 in our division, in my estimation, especially for what the Chargers are doing, who seem to be real. So I think the Chiefs understand that to a degree. I am glad this game is at Arrowhead. If it were in Baltimore, I'd probably pick the other way. I think it's a close game. Obviously, it could go either way with the line and where it's at, but I see the Chiefs coming out with this one 24-23.
24-23. We'll see what happens. Matt Derrick picked 24-23 Ravens. 24-23 Chiefs for Kendall Gammon. I love it. That is great. All right, we'll see what happens. By the way, I'm looking at it right now, and John Harbaugh said, quote, "We'll see," when asked about Ronnie Stanley's ankle, if he's going to play on Sunday.
Just tell us everything then right there.
So there you go.
Good job.
So
thanks, John.
We'll see if he plays. Find out. I just love looking at Twitter. Back-to-back, one tweet says, "Man, that doesn't sound good for Ronnie Stanley." The next one says, "Sounded like Harbaugh was pretty confident Stanley's going to play."
Exactly.
Beauty in the eye of the beholder. What do you think he's saying here? Well, it depends on what view I want it to be. Kendall Gammon, our guest here. Kendall, you're the man. Appreciate the time. Enjoy the football, brother.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Absolutely. There's Kendall Gammon joining us, as he does each and every Friday, presented by Crown Toyota, Crown Volkswagen, recognized as the #1 place to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. Visit crownautomotive.com to see the latest deals. Experience the Crown difference. by Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Ryder Cup going on right now. Coming up in the next segment, how about this? A little sad fans. All right, we got
About
sad
time.
fans. Yes, we got some Giant sad fans. Both,
I think,
for the Giants and Giant.
yeah,
sad
I
fans.
think whenever the Chiefs win, you should do sad fans, and whenever the Chiefs lose, you should make Sterling edit sad fans on the Chiefs side.
I like that. That's more work for.
I would be
for
a
him.
sad fan.
Would you be like crying as you're editing it?
Kareem Hunt has no explosiveness left.
I agree. They should fire Andy.
They should bench Jawan Taylor for Jalen Moore.
No, that's so right. Brett Veach is the worst GM in
Well,
all of
no, we're not
football.
saying that now.
Oh my God, no, that's
Oh,
what that's
plenty
what,
of people are
That's
saying
what they're
that,
saying on
yeah.
Reddit. Probably, I don't know. Let's hear what somebody said as the Europeans were getting ready this morning, and Rory McIlroy was messing with his shirt and deciding to go with the top button or not, and then was saying to his teammates that the top button was just a little too tight. And here's what a fan had to say to break a little tension.
You don't need a button to choke, Rory. Thank you.
And
That
by
was
the way,
yesterday, by the way. That was
Was
like
it yesterday?
practice.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was
and the
yesterday.
Europeans, by the way, loved it.
They did.
They were
tip of the cap.
and
They're like,
Rory
good
was
one.
like, "Yeah, good
Yeah,
one."
good one.
Yes, that
By
was
the way,
great.
Rory did miss about a 3.5-footer already today.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, against I don't
Burns
know
and
who's to win it.
Cantlay?
Yeah, Burns and Cantlay, because you love to see it. That's all I gotta say. Is you
do.
loved it. It wasn't even close. He didn't hit the hole. He just
Yeah, good.
just pushed it right. Let's get in his head early.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let
you
him
do.
know that.
Don't give him those.
Yeah.
No more.
You do love to see it. Update for the Ravens at practice.
didn't like to see that.
Yeah, no. Kyle Van Noy returned to practice today for the Ravens.
As an LP?
I think it's going to be an LP. They haven't put
'Cause
those
he's been
designations
DNP,
out.
yeah.
But he's doing.
It's not an extended play. It was an LP.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing drills, but I don't think he's a full participant. Ravens not practicing today. Ronnie Stanley, no practice. Patrick Ricard, fullback, no practice. Obviously, Matabuke's out. Broderick Washington, also not practicing. And he's again.
I don't think he's been on that report, has he?
No, he didn't practice the last couple days, but he finished the game on Monday night. Travis Jones left the game Monday night, returned, and then left the game again. Yeah. But he returned to practice yesterday in a limited capacity. He's practicing again today. So practicing, that would be an impact for the game, or not practicing, I should say. Matabuke, we know, is out. Ronnie Stanley, still a DNP. Broderick Washington, DNP. And Patrick Ricard, their really good fullback, is also not practicing. He didn't play against the
Line
Lions.
him up.
on
Chiefs
Monday
take
night.
all the help they can get.
100%, man. 100%. And even with Van Noy practicing, you could tell that it was more off to the side doing some drills.
Chiefs are almost all full.
The Chiefs are doing the
They could
exact
be
opposite.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chiefs are doing the exact opposite. Dana's
Fulton.
getting back playing. Worthy is full participant. Fulton limited.
He was the only one limited.
Yeah, he was the only one.
yesterday.
Yeah, because everybody's full participant except for Christian Fulton. So Ravens are very beat up. Chiefs are getting healthier. There's less and less of an excuse to lose this game against the Ravens on Sunday.
What's this line at right now?
2.5 still. Still see it at 2.5. Chiefs plus 2.5.
You like that, Mick?
If it was 3.5, I would. I might go. I might take the Chiefs.
What I don't like is that it's the Chiefs plus 2.5 at plus.
I don't think it's
one-
probably going to go that way anymore.
At
right?
plus 100. That's what I don't like, is that it's it's 2.5, and Vegas is like, yeah, we're giving you better odds to put it on the Chiefs. Come on, put it on the Chiefs plus 2.5.
I put it
at
straight
plus
up,
100.
baby.
Yeah, it's plus 124, so
Straight
it's
up.
better.
Just do a money line.
Money line. I have confidence.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, and let's do it. Sad fans, Giant sad fans on the other side of the break, and then a Fast Friday with Andy Reid. More Zone next. Jalen Watson. All right, now we got some sad fans, New York Giants edition.
Sterling and me right now are sad fans watching golf.
Yes, that's true. Maybe I'll do a sad fans for the U.S. if they end up losing. All right, let's hear the sad fans, New York Giants. Okay. And now things Giants fans said on Reddit. The Giants continue to find ways to make me want to go to bed early. Look at all the 12 to 15-year-old kids with their Chiefs jerseys. They'll grow up being the next generation of douchebag fans like the Cowboys and Niners that grew up in the 90s.
That's rich from a New Yorker. My
right?
God.
What's with this f***ing run-heavy scheme? Reply, it's called Russell Wilson. Guys, I'm starting to think Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. Only the Giants can have a quarterback gift you a fumble and have that same quarterback take the ball right back. I'm not even kidding. Let Scattaboo kick. Reply, hell, let him play quarterback. Can someone at the stadium tell our coaching staff that we have Malik Neighbors on our team? If Chris Collinsworth came home and found his wife with Patrick Mahomes, he'd congratulate Patrick.
Here's this guy.
This guy's with my wife. There's no actual play calling, is there? Russ just has Imagine Dragons playing in his headset. Reply, I imagine dragging Daboll's bum ass from the sideline every game. Brian Daboll, hey, let's put Dart in to see if we can get him concussed. I'm not sure why everyone cares so much about the false starts. We watch this twice a season with Philly. Jawan Taylor is just Lane Johnson with bad PR.
That's good.
Yeah. The best part about the entire NFL world rooting for us is that they get to suffer with us too. But Daboll, he called plays for Josh Allen. Yeah, and he can call orders for Home Depot after tonight. This regime sucks. I cannot wait till they're all gone. Reply, don't worry, the next one will be just as bad, if not worse.
It's true.
The Giants are going to go 0-17 and still somehow draft 4th. Question for the group, should I go no contact with my dad for making me a Giants fan? Last year, I was convinced Daniel Jones was going to get Brian Daboll fired. This year, I'm convinced Daniel Jones is going to get Brian Daboll fired. Am I surprised? No. Am I hurt? Always. What a weird team. Not bad enough to get totally hammered, and good enough to give some hope from play to play, but can't deliver at all. Reply, this team is so bad that getting hammered is what we have to do to even watch it. What the did we do to piss off the football gods so badly? Reply, we beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Reply, yeah, worth it. Totally. I guarantee Brian Daboll is the guy that has loud conversations on speakerphone in public areas. And now the runner-up to things Giants fans said on Reddit. May, I miss football. June, I miss football. July, I miss football. August, I miss football. September, how the do you leave them wide open like that? This I'm done with football. And now the winner of things Giants fans said on Reddit. If you told me Scattaboo plays on crystal meth, I would not question it. All right, there you go. Sad fans for the New York Giants. You do wait a long time to watch football, and then if your team sucks, to then check out of football. Except it's fantasy and betting and everything else. I like when I told Sterling this earlier, Mick, I like when the sad fans aren't just Reddit for hours complaining about the officials. I mean, that was all last year was.
Last year.
Like, it was hard to find any sad fans that weren't just complaining about how they were getting screwed, that the officials and the Chiefs. There was some of that. There was even the...
It's the silver lining to losing a Super Bowl.
I know. There was even the, Dallas Cowboy fan checking in. You guys are getting screwed. Like, shut up, loser. But the Jawan Taylor, Lane Johnson was because everybody's like, he's false starting every game.
Bad PR.
He's Lane Johnson with bad PR.
That's pretty good. We had we had Arrow headlines, and I was like, which one of these surprises you the most? Lamar Jackson's passer rating through 3 games is the second highest in the last 50 years through 3 games, behind only 2007 Tom Brady, who won every game that year.
That was with Randy Moss.
The second one is Derrick Henry has fumbled the last 3 games, and the third is that the Ravens are last in the NFL in defense. What do you go with? What's the most surprising headline there?
I think it's the Ravens being last in defense.
That's what he picked.
Yeah,
I think it is.
I mean,
anybody can go through a fumble spell, and that's a 2-time MVP.
And Lamar's won the MVP a couple times, but the Ravens have always had a calling card. Like, defense.
They're often separated from the other 31 teams in defense. It's just the other way around.
Yes, it's like Ravens' defense is just off the charts, so good. I mean, they can't do anything else, but the defense is really. They're going to win this game like 7-6. You know,
God, and the Chiefs score more than 20.
Oh, that's right. Oh man, yeah. I mean, Chiefs defense better be ready to go because if the Ravens get to 27 or 30, the Chiefs have proven in the last couple of years that they cannot match that. So we'll see. But yeah, that is the surprise is the Ravens defense has been so bad, and rushing defense has always been like you're not going to be able to just run the ball on the Ravens. And then, you know, they started getting better and better in the secondary. It's like, well, now you can't really do anything against the Ravens. And now just running it down their throat, it's really odd.
Dana had a great point. He's like, few teams have had an identity like through decades, right? Because you always have different coaching regimes, different GMs, sometimes different owners, different cities sometimes. Yeah. Because like basically through their entire existence, the Ravens have had this identity. Them and the Steelers, this defensive, tough, black and blue. We're gonna beat you up mentality on defense, and it's just for whatever reason it's lost this year.
Yeah, it's like Gary Pinkel came into Missouri and said, "I'm always gonna have a quarterback," and he did. He did.
Well done.
And it's like the Ravens are always gonna play defense, and they typically have, and this year they're not. So I really look forward to Andy Reid passing it 55 times. So Ravens can't stop the run. Well, and he's like, well, you think we're going to run it because you can't stop the run. But I know that you know that I know that you know that you can't stop the run. So obviously then you knowing that, you're going to gear up to stop the run, and we're going to pass it.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
That's right.
Never getting a land war in Asia.
That's right. Sure. Don't go up with the Battle of Wits with the Sicilian. When the death is on the line. When death is on the line. Andy Reid is late for a Fast Friday. Inconceivable.
But yeah, I'm kind of with Sterling on this one. Money line might be my play here.
Yeah,
the more and more I look at it,
I put money on the plus 2.5 because I'm like, if they lose by 1 or 2, like on a missed field goal, then I still win. But I feel like if the Chiefs are going to cover, they're going to win. I don't know that it's going to be a 1-point loss, even though Matt Derrick picked 24-23 Baltimore and Kendall picked 24-23 Chiefs. So both of them have a 1-point game. Mm-hmm. So my money's already out there. I can't take it back now. I can't go to the bookie.
Cash out? Absolutely.
Yeah, but not the same amount, though.
No. 90 cents less or something.
I made a mistake. Like Can I have my $5 back?
DraftKings, I did a whoopsie.
We'll give you $4.35. How about that? 65 cents. You know what? I'll take it. Take it. That was my mistake. That was my bad. I should
Price
pay.
of doing business. Okay?
I pay 65 cents for my mistake. I
Casualty
get it. Thank
of
you.
war right
it's
there.
Just what happens, man. Press the wrong button, and now I got to pay 65 cents for it. I guess that'll just.
They
what I have
ask
to
you,
do
you really want to do this?
Yes.
They like submit a second time.
You're sure you're just going to give us 60 cents?
Yes.
You're just going to give us the 6. All right, you're going to give us the whole $5 anyway. So I mean, I guess we'll take 60 cents off the top. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this game so many times, and big weekend for KU and K-State too, with KU an opportunity to sort of show that they are the team that they've been through the first 4 weeks of the season or so against a Cincinnati team that has a couple of wide margin victories since that Nebraska loss, lesser opponents. And K-State's got a 3-game season ahead of them before their next bye week. And can you take care of business against UCF,
The good thing about K-State
Baylor,
through all
and TCU?
this, they're still only 0-1.
They can still win the conference.
Never mind that Army can't beat anybody else. They lose again last night. They were playing
I'm not sure.
East Carolina. They were down, I saw. I mean.
Yeah. Here's Andy.
Everybody went today. Gelati was sick, so he wasn't out there, but he should be okay as we go forward. Look forward to playing, the opportunity to play in the Ravens. Good football team. We know that. I mean, John does a heck of a job with that group and has for a number of years. He's got great assistant coaches and then great players. So it should be a heck of a game. Look forward to bringing him right here to GEH Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Time's yours.
With Xavier, a lot of players have played with similar type of injuries, with labral tears or shoulder injuries, but they don't always know about them. When the other team knows about it, how does a player protect themselves, and what's kind of the advice and strategy there?
Yeah, listen, you gotta be healthy enough to go play. I mean, we're not gonna put him out there if he's not healthy enough to go play, and then where he feels comfortable. So he feels good, and then the other team, they're gonna play hard no matter what, whether you have a shoulder or not. They're gonna try to knock you around a little bit, but that's why you want to make sure that you're in the right frame of mind to go do it. So, and physically okay.
You do anticipate that Xavier will be available on Sunday?
Yeah, unless something went on today that I don't know about.
Just Jalen, do you feel like being maybe actually be able to get some snaps, or is he kind of still an emergency break glass if you need Jalen Royals?
Yeah, he's good to go too. Yep. Yeah.
Andy, what did you see from Xavier this week in practice?
Yeah, he fast. Was running fast. We didn't have to worry about his legs, right? That was a upper body injury, so he's been able to keep himself in good shape, and, ready to go. But he looked good. What we asked him to do there.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right, there's Andy Reid, and it looks like Xavier Worthy will be making his return on Sunday. As he said, as long as there is nothing unexpected that happened to Xavier Worthy today. But what do you look like in practice? It looked fast.
I'm sure there's so much that goes on inside that organization that Andy Reid doesn't know about.
He'll find out about it. Kareem Hunt, maybe he knows. I don't know.
Of the team, I feel like just, learning. We're still, working, getting better each and every day. So I feel like we're starting to really come together again.
Sunday night, you guys got the running game going a little bit more. You guys feel like it's ready to kind of break through, getting a little more rhythm on it?
Yeah, most definitely. I just feel like we all just got to, do our job. It takes all of us to, get the run game going, and that's what we got to do.
I'm guessing you probably watched the Lions and Ravens on TV when it was on, and the Lions ran the ball pretty well. Does that kind of get you going a little bit as well?
I mean, for sure. Definitely. I know they're, probably emphasizing that, all week, and we just got to, always be prepared to run the ball, no matter, what the team did last week, because it's a different, teams.
Obviously, 0-2 wasn't where you guys wanted to be, but what stood out to you about the way the guys handled that last week and just the start not being where you wanted to be?
I think we came together. We the second half we came out with a lot more energy and just had our normal mentality is to go down there and put points on the board. So it was good to be able to do that. Hopefully we can continue doing that.
Anything else? Thanks, Kareem.
Yep.
All right, there's Kareem Hunt.
He's much shorter than Andy.
I know, right? Well, Andy's taller, and Kareem Hunt is a smaller running back.
Quicker than
stouter,
Andy.
though. He is quicker than Andy. That's
that
true.
Too, yeah.
Cuts
the
more, but
words he said
shorter.
lasted not as long as the words Andy said.
That's true.
That's it.
That's a good point. Yep. The running game said we all have to do our job for the running game to get going, but pretty sure the Ravens have been emphasizing stopping the run this entire week. Really? You think the Ravens are emphasizing stopping the run against the Chiefs? Come on, Kareem. So we'll see what happens.
The Chiefs
We'll
will have
hear from Jalen
one
Watson.
drive where they run it quite a bit.
First drive of the second half.
And that's the end of my sentence, yes.
First drive of the second half. They'll spend the entire first half passing.
All right, okay. Now they know we're going to run. We're going to go back to
that's right.
RPOs.
There it is. Yep, got them. These fools, they have no clue what we're going to do. We've got them in a spin cycle. It's 10-7. I know, right where we want them. Got them right where we want them right now. We'll see what happens on Sunday. But Kareem Hunt, they came together after the 0-2 start. So we'll see. They need to figure out what they're doing in the second half and do that more in the first half because
make the whole plane out of the second half offense.
Exactly, because the second half offense is much better than the first half offense so far in these first 3 weeks of the season. And for 3 weeks in a row, we've heard that they need to come out and start fast.
They need to do the opposite of the first 15 plays.
Right.
They need to make the first 15 plays and then hold them up to a mirror.
Yeah.
And then draw those plays.
If it's a running right, run left.
Yes.
If it's
running right, pass left.
Yes. That's right. So you're saying it should have been 17
What's
of the
Josh
first.
Simmons doing at right tackle?
Anybody but Juwan, apparently.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we put Jalen at left tackle.
Patrick is throwing all these passes left-handed.
He's so good.
Yeah.
They never see it coming. Never see it coming. Pacheco is not running into the back of offensive linemen. Oh, but he's still running the wrong way. Shoot. He's still running to the end zone. End zone. Darn it. Still turning the wrong way.
He's not picking his feet up.
Oh, he's dragging his feet. Dang it. We'll hear from Jalen Watson, who, by the way, has had a phenomenal start to his season. There was a plot graph that was put out.
I hate those plot
We like
graphs,
doing these
by the
plot
way.
graphs with the 4 quadrants,
It
right?
takes me 5 minutes just to understand
But you need to know top right is where you want to be.
Yeah, somebody needs to talk to tell me like I'm 5. Where's the good players? Where's the bad? Okay.
Good players,
awesome.
top right.
Now I'm done with this graph.
Farther top right. Okay, cool. So that means something. And it was quarterback rating against, and then yards per coverage
Can't you
route.
just give me 2 graphs.
I know.
One with the first measurement.
Look at
one
this
with the other.
graph.
And then I'll look. I'm like, oh, this guy's in the top 5 of both. And then I'll have a better day.
But
look at this graph.
Look at this graph. Every time I do it, makes me scratch my head. It's a plot graph. But he was in the top right quadrant by some of the bigger name cornerbacks in the league that he's got a lower quarterback rating against. Interception helps. And he's got
Malik Neighbors just giving up on that. I'm here to play offense, not play defense.
Yeah.
He was either horrible at tracking that ball or just gave up on it. And
Did you hear what he said when they said what did they see from the offense as to why they would make a change at quarterback? And he said, "Get number 1 the ball."
Typical receiver diva, baby.
Something that you respect about the receiver that's like, I'm not turning it off. Would they see a difference in the offense? Get 1 the ball.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do if you want to. Hey, if you want to win, put Booby in. All right, if you want to win, let Booby spin. Come on, just get 1 the ball, which is what they should do. Which is one of the Giants' sad fans said. Remind this team that we've got Malik Neighbors on our team. Yeah. But also, Steve Spagnuolo was asked about you.
But those comments really help too when you're struggling and all that. And
for sure.
Other guys have maybe a lack of confidence. It's always good to hear that from a teammate.
Just throw it to me.
You're really being a good teammate.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when yesterday Steve Spagnuolo was asked about how much they played split safeties, in bracketing, and he's like, "Well, they got a pretty good player over there."
Yeah,
that's why we were doing that. Is they're playing some man-to-man with guys over the top from Malik Neighbors and limiting what he did. But also, I think it's kind of an indictment in that you can't figure out how to scheme a couple of routes for Malik Neighbors to get the ball, in space.
They play, against cover 2. Why are you
find
scoring
a way?
10 points less per game against this?
2 catches, 13
defense?
yards, minimal targets. You can't find a way to just get this guy the ball in his hands to go and make something happen. He's a pretty good player. Now we're just going to have him run deep, and then Russell Wilson's going to throw it deep. That's what we will do. That's what we will do. It's interesting. Like, people talked about Mike Kafka with the Chiefs a number of years ago, and then he's been with the Giants. Boy, sad fans on Reddit, they do not like Mike Kafka.
He's OC, right?
Yep, OC, quarterbacks coach.
Orange County?
They are not. Yes, real OC. They are not Kafka fans on Reddit. So it's just interesting how we've talked about, losing Kafka was pretty kind of a loss for the Chiefs.
I feel like maybe 10%, maybe 5% of football fans are fans of their own offensive coordinator.
True. Yeah, that's true. Fans in Kansas City don't like their offensive coordinator, who wasn't actually the offensive coordinator.
I mean,
so tired of Matt Nagy. Andy Reid calls the plays. He calls the good plays.
Remember when Bieniemy and the offense was actually running well, and people still didn't like him?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
They're scoring 30 points a game. They should be scoring 37.
Yeah, but the red zone, they should do better.
How are they only 70% conversion rate in the red zone? How are they only 70% in third down conversion? They need to be better than what they are being right now. So we'll see. Jalen Watson, we'll hear from him in just a little bit whenever he gets to the podium. If he gets to the podium, I'm not sure. Justin Thomas with a putt to win the hole, and he did. He won that hole. Now his group, Young Thomas, they are 2 up on Oberg Hogard.
What album? What album did they drop from Young Thomas?
Young Thomas,
it's a rap album.
Yeah, it's a rap album. You think?
Yeah, he had more. He had the LP instead of the EP.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Lil Thomas.
Yeah, that was different. Yep, this is Young Thomas. So, and now DeChambeau has a chance to win the hole and go up 2 on
Single
Fleetwood
plane
Rose.
swing for everything, even the
and he missed it.
Push.
He missed it. 5-foot putt, and now he's looking around like, what happened? Anybody see what happened? What happened?
I don't know if he pushed it or if it broke that way.
Why did that do that?
Looked like a push.
Now he's pointing at the hole.
I thought it looked like a push personally live, but I don't know if that's him getting after his caddy saying.
He doesn't think he pushed that. He thinks he hit it exactly where he wanted to hit it.
He makes those in all of those videos he's in.
Right, but isn't that that reaction is either playing it up as if like, wow, that did something I wasn't expecting it to do, or he actually hit it exactly how he wanted to hit it and missed it.
Golfers and goalies in soccer react the same way every time. Miss putt or giving up a goal.
It's always somebody else's.
They're just mesmerized that act could happen.
Yeah.
They're looking around for someone to blame. They cannot believe that they missed a putt or gave up
and then the
a
immediate,
goal.
like, the hand point. So, like, a soccer goalkeeper, you know, has a goal. Pointing at the defense. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not here? This one, you know, DeChambeau pointing at the hole. Like, what's going on? Why did it do that?
For those not able to watch and that are listening right now,
so
Scheffler and Spahn are only down one, and I think they're fairly lucky because part of it was
they're down one.
Because Straka chipped in.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was big, and they've had a couple breaks go their way.
Yep. All right, here's Jalen Watson.
Lamar Jackson has not thrown an interception so far this year. What would it mean to you guys to get that first one?
I mean, that's a big emphasis. Try to get Pat the ball back. So try any way we can to create turnovers, and whether that's getting interceptions or getting fumbles, fumble recoveries, turnover on downs.
Dave Merritt was up here yesterday. He kind of playfully joked that you should have had a couple interceptions. I guess what's that dynamic like with your position coach?
Yeah, we have a great relationship, man, since my rookie year. I actually didn't even know I dropped it till I seen a TV copy. I thought it skipped on the ground, but I guess my eyes were closed.
Spags also says that turnovers tend to come in bunches. Do you believe that as well? And has this started for you guys?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It's just a momentum swing. It's a big momentum boost and makes you want to play harder, and everyone makes more plays. So hopefully we can continue to keep that going.
What is it about Lamar Jackson, that passing offense, that makes him so effective?
He plays like a maniac with his legs. It's hard to get stops, and when you're plastering and when you're chasing guys in scramble drill, it's hard to get your head around to actually see the ball because you're chasing your man. So it's hard to make plays like that.
Jalen, I know it's a smaller sample size, but what has impressed you about what Noel has been able to do so far?
And Noah's been great. He's been great since OTAs. He's always open to learn. He's always willing to get in the extra work, and he's been fending great, doing a great job.
Secondary as a whole, how larger strides have you guys really taken since that week one game against the Chargers?
Yeah, I think it left a bad taste in our mouth after that game, and ever since then we've been playing at a really high level, so hopefully we can continue to keep doing that.
It's only one season here, but what's it going to be like to go up against DeAndre Hopkins in a different jersey?
I mean, it should be fun. D-Hop was my guy. Good vet, great locker room guy, so it'll be fun to match up against him.
Anything else? Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there's Jalen Watson. A funny little quip there, as Dave Merritt said that Jalen Watson should have had 2 interceptions, and the other pass that he didn't intercept went through his hands, and said, well, he had his eyes closed. And Jalen Watson going, I didn't even know that I dropped the ball. I thought it skipped off the ground, but looking back, yeah, I dropped the ball. I guess my eyes were closed. Pretty good by.
I'm trying to remember which play was that?
It was a throwaway by Russell Wilson, and it was like right to Jalen, but short, and he dove forward, and it went through his arms and hit the ground. And I thought it skipped too until they showed the replay. I'm like, oh, that should have been intercepted. Yeah. Wait a minute. That should have been another one. But I didn't look at Jalen Watson's eyes to see if they were closed or not.
Yeah, you watch his hands.
Yeah,
like a rookie.
He also, has a helmet on.
That too.
Not a visor, though. Didn't have a visor.
True.
So if he didn't have a visor, then I could see, like Yan Eli's not rocking a visor.
You can always control when you blink,
That's a great point, yep. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We will continue rolling. We'll break down what we think will happen in the games this weekend with the Kansas Jayhawks, the K-State Wildcats, Missouri, layup, and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Ravens, and then we've got the cuts before the show is over. More Zone coming up next. You know, men, if you're out there and you happen to be wondering what your testosterone level is, well, then go get it checked out. Go find out what it is. Because if you're wondering what your level is, then you probably have questions about some symptoms that could be related to that. If it's energy levels or gains in the gym that aren't happening anymore, or not sleeping as well, brain fog, libido, all of those things could be connected to low testosterone. Guys in their early to mid-30s start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every single year. That starts to accumulate, and you don't feel the same way that you did in your 20s and 30s as you get older. And if you have that happening, then simply schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. They will do your lab work with you, have your results within 30 minutes. I wonder what my testosterone level is. Well, 30 minutes later, you will find out what your testosterone level is. And then a licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options, help you make the decision together with the medical team. Cost of the appointment is only $99, and that includes the medical consult, the T, and that PSA test. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, that visit is free. You could be back to having those higher energy levels, no more brain fog, getting better sleep, more production, heading to the gym, maybe motivation, more often to go, the gains at the gym being better, which then results in more motivation. It's there and possible with testosterone replacement therapy. Heartland Men's Health, successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. 3 locations to serve you. Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Mick Schaefer hanging out with us, presented by Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Experience world-class sports facilities, including an ice rink, turf field, state-of-the-art courts, arcade games, laser tag, bowling, sports simulators, bar and grill. Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk, where sports and entertainment collide. The Europeans and the United States colliding in the Ryder Cup today. Young Thomas with they are up 2 after the fifth hole. Griffin and DeChambeau are 1 up.
Spahn and Scheffler should win this.
Yeah, Burns and Cantlay are tied, and then Scheffler and Spahn are 1 down through 7. So there's the update as the United States trail 3-1 after the first grouping in the morning. So there you go. Kansas and Kansas State in action tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Missouri's got a layup and a bye. So they got a couple of byes this week.
Don't say that. You never know. The Minutemen could come out with a vengeance.
They're not going to last the whole
Minute
game.
Boys.
Yeah, they're not going to last the whole game,
That
man.
first minute, though, might be tough.
Yeah, well, Missouri's going to play for all 60.
Here's the deal. You get
60
Ahmad
of
Hardy, 250 yards rushing.
Done.
Set him down at halftime.
Get him out of the game. Get up like 21-24-0, and then sit Prabula and Ahmad Hardy and Coleman and some other
say
guys.
more 35-0 before you sit those
24.
guys.
UMass.
It's
ain't
college
going.
football.
Nope.
Run up these stats, right?
Yep.
Run 'em
UMass,
up. Heisman stuff.
UMass
Yes.
is graded out as maybe the worst Division I football program in the country. So
they played Oklahoma State.
Oh, that'd be a great.
Wait, is UMass, are they FCS or FBS?
I think they're
FB?
I think they're
about to FB.
F bleep.
Well, have you
S.
played your FCS team? I can't remember yet. You did, right?
That was first part of the season.
Central Arkansas, right? Was that it?
Yeah.
So that's your
yeah.
FCS team.
Yep,
so
that's the
they are
FCS
FBS.
team.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
10th in the MAC.
They're in the MAC now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I would bet on them against Oklahoma State. I'm not even lying.
I think you're lying.
Oklahoma State has a more expensive roster than UMass, though.
Oklahoma State beat UT Martin by 14. Missouri State went and beat UT Martin by about 40.
We'll see what they do with UMass, though. You know, because UMass, Missouri's 50-point favorites. I don't know. Like, I feel like
Those are
if
tough
they're that
to
bad,
bet on.
UMass is 0-3 with they lost to Temple 42-0. They lost to Bryant FCS team 27-26, and they lost to Iowa 47-7. Iowa put 47 on them, and Kirk Ferentz wanted to punt half the game. So
Drink likes to cover. I would put money
he
on
does,
the,
but I don't know, man. This feels like you get a decent lead, you shut it down, and get ready for the bye.
Weren't they favored by like 50-some against UCA as well? And I remember like that's too much. They're not, and then they blew the doors.
I told you they cover against bad teams.
Yeah.
Drink likes it.
They typically do, but again, this is one to where you've got the bye next week, and it's a bad team. You get up by a bunch on this team. You don't. I mean, just you can shut it down and go into the bye. That's true.
Run roughshod.
Yeah, even if you've got your freshman running backs running the football, is UMass going to stop them?
Yeah,
I don't know.
3 great running backs.
UMass, more like UAss. Am I right, boys?
You're right. Yeah. This
you 2 scoops of.
I mean, I could see it being like 56-6 and covering. I could see that.
I see it be 70-3 is what I'm thinking.
It could be. The more important games for tomorrow are both KU and K-State. They both kick off at 11 o'clock. KU right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB and TNT. They are 4.5-point favorites. K-State 6-point favorites tomorrow on FS1. And for KU, this is the second game of a 3-game stretch that I feel like they have everything on the table that if they take care of business, that they could be 5-1 heading to Texas Tech.
There are so many West Virginias and Cincinnati's and UCF's and Houston's and Arizona's that are just below average teams that if your schedule hits right, you can go on a run. And I think that's why I like KU for a better record maybe than what they were this year. And I think they're in the middle of that run right now.
Yeah, because Cincinnati and UCF, I said this in the first hour that easy is a relative term, but in the Big 12, this 3-game stretch of West Virginia at home, Cincinnati at home, and at UCF before Texas Tech is as, quote-unquote, easy of a 3-game stretch that teams will see in the Big 12. If they win against Cincinnati and take care of business tomorrow, then being undefeated in Big 12 play would at least afford you the opportunity that if you lost to UCF, you would still be heading to Texas Tech with an opportunity of only one loss, and if you were to win that game. But also the conversation being, if you lose at UCF, can you go to Texas Tech and win if you're not good enough to do that? Take care of business against Cincinnati first and foremost, which I think they will take care of business because KU's playing as confident as any team in the Big 12 right now. Because they probably left that Missouri game thinking, we had opportunities, we could have won that game, where Missouri's looking at it going, we had opportunities, we could have won by a whole lot more. Like both teams came away from that game feeling like they left stuff out there on the field, and then they just simply dominate West Virginia. And Cincinnati comes in, and this KU team, I think, has an opportunity to prove that they're for real and continue that momentum.
I don't know
UCF.
if Cincinnati's as good as West Virginia, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know much.
Played Nebraska and then
nothing. After that.
Killed whatever FCS team last week, and
Bryant
then
or something.
Struggled with
Northwestern
Bowling Green
State.
A little bit. They've yet to allow a sack. Sorsby, I think, is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Yet to allow a sack, and they are 11 for 11 in the red zone. 10 of those have been touchdowns. I'm like, I remember that. Chiefs used
remember
to,
they used to just get in the red zone and score touchdowns. It's what they did. They're very good. It's what the Lions did against the Ravens.
Alma mater used to be like Kelsey's current team.
Yes, that's what the Lions did against the Ravens on Monday night. Is they got in the red zone, they scored touchdowns. They did not settle for field goals. K-State has a 3-game season and a bye week, and then a 2-game season and a bye week. Because
6 bye weeks, by the way, between KU and K-State.
It's a lot.
When you play in week 0, you
week 0,
and
that's
absurd.
Well, it's a 2-bye-week season anyway, and then you play
I don't know
in
why
week
that's
0.
the case.
So this UCF and Baylor and TCU stretch, what did they solve in the bye week, and can they look in the mirror and see the team that they probably saw when they were getting ready to play Iowa State in
It's
Ireland?
a tougher stretch than the previous 3 games they just played, by the way.
Yep, and they went 1-2.
1-2 in those.
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah, right. Exactly. With the 3-point win against North Dakota. Like, I think if they played Iowa State right now, I think Iowa State wins by, double digits. Because I think Kansas State is playing like a shell of themselves, confident-wise, of maybe not believing that they're as good as they thought they were getting ready for Iowa State. We're a top 20 team. We're getting ready to face off against Iowa State. This is a year where we're going to win the Big 12 and go to the college football playoff. Let's go play like that. And it didn't happen. And then they come back home and survive North Texas by the skin of their teeth. And then you think, okay, we figured it out against Army. We've taken an early lead. And then you blow that game and then blow the game against Arizona. Like, they're a fractured team right now.
Feels
so
a lot like KU's season last year when they were underachieving and they got in games that were close and didn't make any of the plays down the stretch.
Yeah.
And they probably they could have won 3, maybe 4 more games than what they did. Same things happen with the K-State. They're underachieving for the personnel they have.
Mm-hmm.
They are, like you said, they are playing like they're a confident team. Hopefully in the bye week things turn around. I saw Dylan Edwards did not show up on the injury report.
That's good.
That's got to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So maybe he can help jumpstart an offense that just for stretches during the middle of the game isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And because of that, you're putting yourself and your defense in a situation at the end of the games. You're in a game with Army. You're in a game with North Dakota.
I just want Avery Johnson to, not look as indecisive as he has this year. Do I run it? Do I pass it? Should I?
Yes.
No, I'm going to run past it.
First question, go.
Yeah, I'm going to run
go.
past it. No, just, dude, if you've got space in front of you, be Avery Johnson and go.
It's just this deal now. It's like if you're a running quarterback, it's considered this negative label, right? It's this, this scarlet letter on you. Oh, man, nobody can throw. Okay, yeah, you can. But also, those yards count running the ball, and that carries a lot of weight for a team. And you can be very valued and still be more of a runner than a passer. I don't think why it's this slap in the face.
It feels like I said this before the Arizona game or during the Arizona game, and I may have said it on Sunday Sound Off too. Like this year, and we'll see what happens with UCF, but this year feels like Brad Smith Jr. season. That Brad Smith freshman year was running the football. Sophomore year was running the football. And then for whatever reason, they said, Brad, we want you to work more from the pocket. So I think that one of the stories was that in fall camp, when he would escape the pocket, they would blow the play dead just to keep him in. And you look at his numbers, freshman, sophomore, junior year to senior year, the rushing numbers and attempts shot way down, rushing touchdowns. But you know what happened too? His passing numbers went down, the whole thing. Then his senior year, rushing numbers jumped back up because they said, just be Brad Smith. Just go and be Brad Smith. Let's get out of your own head. we're sorry for getting in your head. You just go be Brad Smith, and he was.
I would be the worst football coach because I would roll out my quarterback every time. The pocket, that's where like 10 big dudes are.
Yeah.
Anybody can fall on you
Get out
at
of there.
any moment. Run out in space.
Yeah, get out of there.
Right?
Go use your
I don't
legs
care if
if
you're
you
a
have
little
to.
bit more inaccurate. Guys are more wide open.
Yeah, use legs.
Defense
Leggy.
is scrambling.
Mick is doing the all right. 4 verticals. You're gonna roll out, and if
I wouldn't do 4 verts, I would do like
either run or throw the ball deep. That's all you have to do. It's like Mike Vick and
I would have,
Madden
I would
03.
have 1 deep on the backside, and then you got the 2 little outs, right? 1 at 5 yards, 1 at 15 yards. You take your pick there. Maybe you run. I don't know. Tight end, kind of in the middle of the field, just kind of sitting down in space.
Right.
Yeah, every play. Till they figure every play, too.
That's right.
That's the other deal. Like, that play worked. If you're a coach now, if that play worked, you're going to run it again in 4 games.
Run it
That
again.
was so good.
I actually
that
don't
we're not gonna run
understand that.
I'm going to run this. They couldn't cover that play. I'm going to do it again 2 plays later. Do it again. Do it again until they stop. Oh, they stopped it? Okay, then we'll move on to something else. But I might go back to that because it's worked 4 out of 5 times.
Yeah, that's an 80% success rate.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim Grunhard, I think, brought that up last week or the week before.
The Chiefs
with
apparently
Seren.
couldn't stop the same play over and over
Right,
again with
against
the Eagles.
And I think that's what he brought up. He was like, he was telling a story about they ran like the same play like 4 or 5 times in a row. And he was like getting frustrated with he's like, what are we doing? He's like, they haven't stopped it. Run the play.
Yes.
Until they stop it, we're going to keep running
It's not
it.
like all 11 have the same Rolodex in their head and like think, okay, we've got this one figured out. No, I mean they don't. So that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd be the greatest coach of all time.
What do we think happens in the Chiefs and Ravens game?
Man, if it was Wednesday, I think
Yeah.
I was going to pick at Wednesday. I was picking the Ravens. I've swung a little bit. I'm on Chiefs now.
You've swung.
Well, we know you do that anyway. It's your
big
You've been
swinger.
swinging.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights.
Been aware of that for a while
Yeah.
now.
You swing it not during the day, but mostly at nights is when you
Anytime.
swing.
Anytime.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
I mean,
you know how many pineapples are around his cul-de-sac? You kidding me? They're everywhere. So what are you thinking score-wise then, if you're now picking the Chiefs? Unless you've already said it, and I was trying to think of a joke about
I
swinging.
just thought it. 28-27 Chiefs.
28-27. Oh, that is a fun one. That's going to be a close game. so wacky guy.
Wacky.
Sterling, what are you thinking, huh?
23-22 Chiefs. Ravens try and go for 2. They don't get it.
Oh, wow.
Or like they do the deal, like when they're down 8, go for 2, and they get ballsy and they screw it up.
No, they're down 7 and then they go for 2.
Yes, that would be.
Or excuse me,
No, it's
down
down
14.
Down 8. Oh, down 14.
Down 14, go for 2. So then
No,
you're
it's down
down 8 or 6.
No, it's down 15, go for 2. Right?
Well, the new math is if you're down 14, you go for 2. So therefore, if you get the 2 on the first one, then an extra point wins the game if you score a touchdown. Or the math is we're going to get one of these 2-point conversions, so we'll go for
Right.
2,
So
which
no,
gives
it's
us a
so
chance.
it's
Down
down
14.
It's down 8, you go for 2. Right? Is the math.
But the new math is down 14.
No, that's the new math. Right?
Down 8, you go for 2?
That's the new
That's
math.
to tie it, yeah.
No, it's not. You go for if you down 8, you go for 2. All of a sudden, you're down 6.
It's just way too much math talk.
Right?
Cuts.
You get the touchdown. You're instead
Right,
of
okay,
kicking
that's
the
what I'm
PAT.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you
So
would go-
same thing being down 14, you get the touchdown to put you down 8. And then you go for 2. Right. We're on the same page. I was just thinking
this is before the touchdown.
Yes, my bad.
Okay, gotcha.
We were on the same page.
I'm saying
like,
after the touchdown.
Yes,
after
I was
the
thinking
touchdown,
before
yes.
the touchdown.
Yes, I
like,
gotcha,
hold on,
gotcha.
down 8, you've got it.
Now, we're saying the exact
We were
same
saying
thing.
the same thing.
We're just a play away.
Oh, my gosh.
I
This
was
is
assuming the touchdown.
Sterling, you're new to this. This is what it's like to be married. We just argued about agreeing.
So true.
Now you know what it's like. Michael, what do you got?
I was going to say odds are 3, 2, 1, 7. I picked,
8.
I picked on Wednesday that the Chiefs would not win this game, and I don't feel as confident in that pick anymore, but I still have the Ravens winning 24-21.
24-21. You've got Baltimore. I'm with Mick on Wednesday. I was picking the Ravens to win this game. Yeah. So see, now we're
find a
back on the same
commonality
page. See,
afterward.
you know what? Choose your
In
battles.
30 minutes, though, we'll be back arguing.
Choose your battles, Sterling. You know what I mean? This is a battle I'm not willing to fight. I'm just going to agree with him.
My wife chooses her battles.
Yeah.
She just chooses every one.
Yeah, she chooses just
Was
to
she
let
Napoleon?
it go. She just lets it go. Choose your battles. What's the battle?
taller
Let it
than
go.
him, but,
Let it go. Whatever the battle is, doesn't matter. Choose a different one. But which one will I choose? I don't know. But every day that you got to choose the battle, choose the next one. It's like free beer tomorrow. All right, just choose the next one. I am going with 27-20 The Kansas City
Whoa.
Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know.
Are you
and-
going to just dial up like a little Chiefs giving 6 points? That'd be great odds.
I don't know that I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I still just played the +2.5. Just to hedge a little bit.
We're all ball zero on the radio than we are with our DraftKings or FanDuel apps.
I feel like it's going to be a different person that steps out
I'm
of
the
bounds
opposite.
on fourth
I'm
down.
ballsier on the apps, I think.
Are you?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because nobody can see your dumb predictions on DraftKings.
Yeah, I just say smart
They
things
hear
on air.
your-
I say dumb things when I'm not.
Is that it?
That's what it is. So all of us have the Chiefs, shocker, and Michael's got the Ravens. What a hater! What do
I
you-
had the Eagles a couple weeks ago.
Let me guess, you got Cincinnati winning tomorrow too?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think KU and K-State both take care of business over the weekend. We need to get to the cuts. We'll do that on the other side of the break. More Zone next. All right, let's get the cuts going before we are done this week here in the zone on this Friday. Michael, take it away. What do we got?
The touch too much.
Here's the thing. When Mick comes in on Friday, he agrees that you love touch too much because some reason you decide that you have to, like, hug him or, like, grab him or put your hand on his face for some reason.
Lebo and I have our handshakes and stuff, and I thought Mick would like to have a handshake together, but apparently not.
No, it's about 17 straight Fridays that he said stop.
No,
16. More touches.
Yes.
Nobody wants your touches.
We're going to need to have an HR video around
here.
Yeah,
for sure.
And handshakes involved hand on hand, not other parts.
Sterling. When was the last time I've touched you?
Earlier today.
Yep.
Our feet.
Yep,
well, that was you touching me. Nervous. It was thick. I needed a Steven Tyler mouth.
I didn't get to taste it. Somebody just grabbed it.
Well, it came on a stick.
Christ.
No idea what that was about, but
I know
night.
what it's about.
Good night.
Burn ends.
Wow. I'm not sure.
Tight. They feel nervous. I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah. Yeah. We are too. We all
You
are.
brought in a bag of meat today.
I did, and I never got around to eating it.
He brought in a legit bag of meat.
I know, and I had to eat it for lunch after the show.
It was left out. It was warm, too.
Yeah, left out. It was a position that Sterling played in high school. Left out. That's right. What?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
What?
But you didn't play high school basketball, right? Or football? Did you play high school baseball? You didn't play any of those?
I played basketball a couple years.
Like JV?
Yeah.
You can't talk about that. We used to have a rule. You can't talk about like anything.
I didn't. You brought it up.
Below.
Yeah.
Well, you were like,
I'd beat Jason in any sport.
That's not true. That is not true.
Guaranteed.
Golf. Yes.
Golf, baseball, basketball.
You wouldn't be.
You've never played those sports.
I'm running a much quicker route. Hey, I played club baseball at Mizzou senior year because I was.
Wow.
Someone bet me that I couldn't make it, and I was a little
on the
adult
team
beverage.
That accepts everybody.
No, but I made it.
Good job.
I did something. I'm telling you, I will bet Jason money on basketball right now.
You'd be confident in something? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Let's do it.
That is
I will
surprising.
do it. We'll go.
Let's go. I want to play.
Let's go to Rockers High School.
I'm going to bet.
I'm taking them on.
I'm going to bet somebody 20 years older than me too.
Yeah.